Aye, aye, Captain.
Well, that's going to be at the beginning of this recording now.
Oh.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 37 of the Smobcast. So, we had quite an episode last week, our craziest episode. So crazy that it didn't get demonetized, but YouTube gave it limited monetization. So this time around, we're gonna tone it back, and we're not gonna.
Plus, she's not gonna say the P word.
Yeah, we're gonna say P word.
Oh, that was it?
Yeah, if you say that word on YouTube, you will get demonetized. You will get limited ads. That word specifically. You cannot say that.
Grow a pair, bruh.
Doesn't matter. Advertisers don't want it.
Grow a pair, YouTube.
Don't say the P word.
Yeah, pear.
Yeah, grow a whole pear tree. But yeah, this week we're gonna be talking about some buffs. So we got one on JP. That's basically the only thing that happened on JP, other than like they also announced some banners which might have their own buffs. It'd be nice if they give Jack a buff, but the other ones for the most part are alright, I think. I can't remember any others that are like that bad off. And like personally, I don't think Jack is that bad, but she hasn't. She looks pretty bad these days.
Yeah, she could use buffs.
Because like I mean, she's competing with Kama, so
yeah.
But not only are we going to be talking about Scath's buff, we're also going to be talking about the ones that we're getting on NA here in a few weeks, because we're about to be moving into NA's anniversary, and we get like, what, 14 buffs alongside that? Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5,
yeah, that's
6,
in like 2 weeks, right?
Yeah. I think it's around when Hakenden ends. Hakenden is ending. I think I said that last week. Yeah, anyways,
Well, they always do it at like the Anime Expo, and so when it's ever that, it doesn't matter what our actual anniversary is, it's whenever Anime Expo is. This week's Constantine news, he's still Constantine.
Wow, what a surprise.
Constantine.
Yeah, he's constantly Constantine. It's literally in his name.
Drink your Constantine. Constantine. No, you know, like, drink your Ovaltine, you know.
It's like,
you know?
It's like,
am I saying a reference you guys don't get?
It's like
I know what Ovaltine is as a drink.
Right, but like when someone says like drink your Ovaltine, oh no.
No, I don't.
My old.
Yeah.
Oh no. It's a movie. It's from a movie called The Christmas Story, where the kid gets like a decoder ring in like as like a prize thing, and he solves the puzzle, and the puzzle solution just turns out to be an ad that says "Drink your Ovaltine."
I don't think you're old. I think I'm just Asian, so I don't get it.
Oh,
I've never watched that movie. It just I don't. It just I don't know. Maybe it's really funny.
A Christmas
I just
classic.
Don't.
He gets a lamp of a leg.
I just don't like its vibes. I just don't want to engage with it, you know. Instead, I'll watch the Grinch for the 500th time. All right, that's what I'll do this Christmas.
Go watch your Christmas Story next Christmas. You should.
Yeah.
Anyways, so Scath, they gave her the buff that people wanted. People wanted her third skill to not be 1 turn only, so they made it 3 turns, just unlimited 3 turns.
Honestly, a little bit crazy.
I swear, the week before, like not last week, but the week, or may have been just last week. I swear, at some point in time, we were talking about Skaha and buffing her, and I said they would never give this a 3 turn. They would never change it to 3 turns. That's too strong. I swear, we were talking about Scott last week, right?
I think it was a recent episode. Yes.
Yeah, it was either last week or the week before. Where it was like,
let me check throughout the 4.5 hours of that episode.
Just quickly scan that through.
Yeah, I mean, you're not wrong. I do believe this is a bit too strong of a buff. I guess not really too strong, I guess, but like it is so stupid.
Of course.
Good.
I only said half of the buff, so like.
Oh, sorry.
So of course, she has the 100% anti-divine and 100% anti-undead, which are separate effects, so you can get a total of 200%. Especially now that you can force undead with Summer Woo. Like, that's pretty handy, gotta say. But she also has an effect which is kind of in contrast to Satanta's buff, where she gets 20% charge from every attack for 3 attacks. So, like, yeah, it's 60% battery. And yes, it does apply on her NP. So now she went from having basically no to anywhere between basically no refund and literally no refund at all, to actually having some really good refund.
At least it's 3 turns, 3 times 3 turns, not 3 turns. Imagine if it was just 3 turns of that.
No,
buff.
okay.
Yeah,
if it was 3 turns, I'm pretty sure her mighty could full refund. So that would just be stun locking for 3 turns.
So
yeah, that'd be too much.
Yeah, I don't think you want that, bro. I don't think. Yeah.
So-
Like, we were talking about Dante's being oppressive. Oh boy.
So
Anyways.
I was messing around with this buff a few days ago, like in a solo, and I found that, like, if you got like an NP gain CE, which, I mean, there's some decent ones out there these days, you can NP quick, and then use her second skill, and then she can NP again. It's a little tight there, because that means you're you have to get like 80% from that, and then you need another 20%. But the fact that you can back to back like that so easily, it's great.
You use command codes to help you as well, and is very scary. Yeah.
Oh yeah,
It's
command codes.
Yeah, it's a stun lock unit essentially now. I mean, not honestly, like, from the perspective of like most stun lock units being MPing every other turn, she was already a stun lock unit even pre-buff, and now this allows like every couple of turns she has the ability to, like, obviously you probably need to hit the right class, maybe not possible on Berserkers, but you need some command code help or whatever, or like a specific CE. But like every 5 turns you get to do a back-to-back stun, and that is just I don't know. I feel like it's free.
If it
No,
unless it's a solo.
I mean solo. Yeah, sorry.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, sorry. I mean for specifically solos. Yeah.
In a solo, no, it's super easy.
Yeah, and it's just scary. I mean, obviously it's a little bit more difficult because she's not taking a hit. She's not taking hits because she's stunning the opponent. But like, yeah, this is terrifying. In terms of power level bump, and then of course the 100% anti-divine is also ugh.
I don't think it's a problem though. Like, single player game, it's okay to have some units broken. Or not even broken.
So I think part of the reason why they gave her this strong of a buff is just because, like, you look at the other single target lancers, like, they've been pushing the power level of single target lancers in particular for a while. Because you got Bima, you got Enkidu, even Melusine. I feel like Melusine's single target is kind of meh, but like, it's still quite strong.
I think it's slept on. I think it's slept on.
I just don't feel like it contributes anything that unique beyond, like, she's able to crit really consistently, which lets
it's just solid. Yeah, it's just a spammy.
It doesn't have any
MP,
tricks, but it's a very spammy single target high damage arts NP.
Yeah, but like compared to some other, like, I'd say like compared to other ones, then
the thing is, like, after like the 3rd MP, she's refunding like 50% of her MP on her MP as a single target, which is, you know, really good.
Was
like,
it 50?
Yeah,
50.
She refunded like 50 to 60% sometimes, depending on, you know, if I'm like overkilling a bar or something like that. Like, her MP gain is really good on.
The more you MP, the more you MP, right? Like that. Yeah. That's a scary. It's a positive feedback loop.
Yep.
Yeah, I guess.
Yep. So it's not like damage, but it just makes it. She's just really easy to NP on. I mean, the damage is there though too, but.
Yep. She's it's just like, good single target lancers all around these days. And like, I already felt like she was pretty strong just because, like, being able to guarantee stun every time you NP, even if you're not NPing every turn, you're still like, that's still a lot of denial you've got going on.
Yeah, for sure.
Like with Enkidu, it's balanced around him only being active against like divine enemies.
Yeah.
Which is kind of what her problem was, because like her ideal circumstances, she's up against divine. But if you're up against divine, why use her instead of Enkidu?
But now you can apply undead to things.
Now I just feel like she is. Okay, the FGO hot takes here. I feel like in most circumstances, divine or like when you're not against divine, I think Scathach is better, and when you're against divine, I think Scathach is better.
Scathach is better twice.
No, like okay, maybe against threat to humanity, Enkidu is better, but like in my humble opinion, I think if you're against divine, Scathach is better. If you're not against divine nor threat to humanity, Scathach is still better. So like it's just. She has become. I think she has eclipsed him in a lot of ways. Like I don't know.
Because like even though he has like really, he has really high NP damage. It's just like the rest of his damage is kind of
Yeah.
I feel just because like,
his deck kind of sucks, right? Like
his deck isn't really good for damage, and then like
his deck is terrible for damage, and like I hate how his skills work. Like the
other card is RNG. Yes, it should have just been quick, to be honest.
Yeah, it should have just been quick. You would have been so much better if it was just quick.
Yeah, but like in general, I don't enjoy Buster MP or triple quick decks.
I mean,
People are gonna be like, oh, but Carmilla.
I'm gonna be honest, I prefer the arts buff proccing over the quick buff, because like
I guess with Mighty, yeah, the arts
like,
is
like his arts card is like really good already, and then you get 50% more 50% NP gain off of it, basically.
I think in a solo, I definitely prefer the arts up, but in a team, sometimes I prefer a quick up.
Yeah,
I don't depend. Sense. I don't know. Yeah, so like I mean,
it's more likely to have the quick get.
Yeah, it's just uptime versus like effectiveness, I guess, in a way. So I mean, yeah, Skog right now is just in a very good spot. You don't necessarily need Summer Woo for it to be good, but like Summer Woo does help push the damage a lot. If the fight, like I don't know, and like once again, if you're up against Divine or Undead, or God forbid, Divine and Undead, then she's just going to shred them with MP and cards because it's a power mod. Like
it's not just the MP damage anymore.
Remember, she has a 50% crit up for 3 turns on skill 1. She has very strong cards already, and now with the power mod applied on top of that, it's just it's kind of ridiculous, right? And it's just such short cooldown on both skill 1 and skill 3. Even though skill 1, if you want to do minimum cooldown, it's RNG. But I mean, it's 80%. Depends on what you want, so I don't know.
Oh yeah, the RNG, that is the annoying thing on her skill, is the RNG, but it's 80%. Like you can you can work around it.
Also the second skill helps deal with that. Like if
you
use
but like
her second
the cooldown doesn't. Yeah. The cooldown doesn't line up, right? Yeah, that's the bit of...
Well, it's also, you also have to realize that you're not very likely to use her second and first skill at the same time, because
you're right, because it's just a battery, and
you don't want to evade the turn you stun. You're wasting the evade. But
the success rate does last more than one turn, which is great.
Yeah, since it lasts 3 turns, what'll often happen is you use the second skill to get her NP, and then next turn you use the evade, and then you're fine on that turn, because you're probably
absolutely correct.
No, they're not.
I see the vision now. That's what Noel's talking about. What's interesting about the skill 2 buff is that the buff success rate up is more than 1 turn. Never mind. I'm just having a revelation moment here, because I was having an argument with another guy.
Okay.
But yeah, I finally understand what he means, because you reminded me of that.
Well, you're welcome, I guess.
Thank you.
Now you've won an argument in your head.
No, I haven't won an argument. I lost an argument, actually.
Oh, you lost the argument in your head?
Because now I kind of understand what he means.
Well,
by like why that skill 2.
You're
But
welcome
why
for
that
one.
second skill is interesting. Yeah, yeah, because the success rate lasts more than one turn, so you can absolutely space them out in terms of the use timing. Anyways,
Anyways, that's Scath's buff. I think it's very impactful. Now she's able to use her NP a lot more easily, and then it's less bursty. So yeah, she's looking really well. Looking really good these days. But
Good thing that they buffed her.
But we got a bunch of other buffs we got to go over here with the Servant Strengthening Campaign part. Is that 15? XV is 15, right?
Yes.
yes.
Gotcha. Part 15. So this is going to be coming up at the end of the month or at the beginning of next month. Something like that. We already discussed that. But as you can see, first buffs go to Vlad and another person. So let's look at Vlad's buffs. So he had Protection of the Faith already, which is a pretty solid skill. It gives him the defense buff and all, and the heal. So it gives him some longevity, which combos pretty well with his third skill, which has the taunt, and then his taunt just combos perfectly with this buff, because it used to be a shitty tactics skill, but now it's team-wide 3-turn NP damage buff of 20%, and then team-wide buster of 20%, and then the next 5 times he gets attacked, he applies 10% defense down for 3 turns, which is like it's perfect for him. Like it fits his gameplay so well.
It does fit the gameplay style for that type of character.
It's like it just makes it makes use of his taunt as more than a way of protecting the team that also helps you get your NP. You're also increasing the amount of damage you're going to be doing next, and then like you can heal back from it, from the damage you took while taunting, or you could use this ahead of time to reduce the amount of damage you take while you're taunting. It just gels so well. So yeah, this is like a 10 out of 10 buff for me, I would be honest.
Yeah.
It's good if you use them. I mean, I don't know how many people use Rad Vlad. Wait, this one's Rad Vlad, right?
Yeah,
Right, I mean,
Lancer.
There's Rad Vlad and Sad Vlad.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
No, this is the sad one.
Is this the Sad Vlad?
Look at his final ascension. He's the sad one.
Oh, I thought it was sad because I thought the other one was Sad Vlad because
he just looks like he's
Berserker Vlad
chilling.
sucks.
He really wants to be sad after getting 2 MP upgrades. Okay, bro.
He still sucks.
Well, I
But,
can't wait for them to eventually add Glad Vlad.
Damn. I mean, this buff has allowed him to see play in min turns, which is very interesting. That I've learned. It becomes AOE, right? The buster. Wait, what's the buff again?
Yeah,
Am I going
the-
crazy?
yeah,
It is
Buster's
party
AoE.
AoE Buster.
Yeah. So, yeah.
I've definitely seen him fight evil things and like kill those pretty well.
Yeah.
'cause
I've
he's
seen
got-
people.
Yeah, dude,
sorry.
he's got like all 4 ways of increasing damage. He's got 20% attack, he's got 20% buster, 20% NP damage. He's got 10% more defense down for every time he gets attacked, so up to 50%. And then he's got anti-trade against evil. It's just like,
Yeah, I think.
he doesn't even need the NP upgrade.
Yeah. Because of that defense down effect, I've seen people use him as a support, which is really interesting. I mean, I'm not saying it's like super. I definitely would prefer him as a main DPS, but yeah, it's a really cool buff. I think that there are a lot of like Summer Eris was kind of the second servant that had this, right? Where like you have a taunt and then you debuff the opponent whenever you take hits. But Vlad is definitely a better, in my opinion at least, a better like tanky unit to do that job. And he doesn't necessarily have to be the only DPS on the team, and he helps other people as well when he's taking hits. So really, I like this, but it's a really fun buff as well, I guess. Because it like making this skill better is just a fun buff, because I would like to use this concept a lot more, but yeah, I don't know.
I feel like that's kind of what ended up happening. Like, they designed Erase and they were like, you know what? I kind of like this idea. And we got this guy over here who has a taunt which kind of looks mismatched. And like, we want to buff him anyways, so we can put the same effect on there. And it works. Works good.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what he's one of the less special ones here, because like a lot of people just don't really either know about him or care much about him. But I think his gameplay's fun.
I think he's interesting. I've seen him a couple times.
Yeah,
He's it's definitely a better buff than the other one that came out the same day as him.
so I got different feelings about this one. So Jekyll is just like bad. Like, he's flat out bad. He struggles. He has a gimmick where he like turns himself into a berserker. And before he turns himself into a berserker, he does like nothing. Because like all of his skill effects, like he's got 15% attack, he's got 15% chance of stunning, and then he's got 15% crit. So, like, after he transforms, he's got like decent skills, I'd say, but they're not enough to carry him to usefulness.
Yeah. Sorry to interrupt, but like I think they just missed the essence of what an effective Jekyll buff would be. Because the problem with Jekyll honestly really isn't with Jekyll. The problem is Hyde sucks. Hyde is not worth working towards, at least. I wouldn't say like he's like the worst thing ever, but like Hyde as a berserker that doesn't have an MP nor does have a triple buster deck, like, it's not something that you even want to work towards. So speeding that process up certainly helps, but like when the prize is fucking shitty, sorry, do they demonetize for saying the F word?
Dude, we've been saying fucking for like the entire podcast.
Look, I don't.
Okay. They're demonetizing.
No,
it's not even demonetizing, but
the other problem is it doesn't reset his skill cooldowns when he transforms, and they're so bad before he transforms. If you have to use his battery to transform, you're just losing 50% crit.
Damn, doesn't that sound familiar?
35%. Okay, so this
the
is...
skills don't reset. That sounds so familiar. We just complained about that on another character.
Who could it be? I don't know. I don't know. My memory is fuzzy.
Anyway, sorry, you continue.
Okay, so I have a different opinion than most everyone I talk to about this.
Okay.
So I think the sum result here is still not good. I think he still sucks. But I don't think this is a terrible buff. People act like this is like the worst shit imaginable because you lose out on 35% crit. But
it's not like the worst, but it just doesn't do anything to fix his problem.
So the problem with self-buffers, like servants that use their NP to make their cards do more damage instead of doing damage with their NP, the reason why they're rarely ever better than decent servants that have damaging NPs is because they have an extra step. Because with a normal servant, it's just like use the NP, you do damage. Like it's basically a two-step process. You have to get the NP and then you use the NP.
Yeah, it's like an install super.
Whereas with like servants that self-buff, they have to get their NP, then they have to NP, then they have to use their cards to do damage, and oftentimes they'll have to use skills to go with them. So when they give him an 80% battery, that is cutting out one of those. Basically. it's cutting out one of the steps. And the reason why I think that's really valuable is because, dude, how the fuck are you setting him up like before this buff? Were you giving him K-scope?
Yeah, K-scope or Diarmuid what was talking. But the thing is,
Yeah,
is
and then
that
goes
adds
to-
value to him, but he holds inherently no value.
Well,
so
so-
0
so the-
times 5 is 0.
so like
You're
the-
multiplying by
but,
0
But
here.
here's the thing, like what this means is now you don't have to just use a CE that does nothing after you transform. You can give him something that is completely offensive. You could give him something like Victor of the Moon, for example. And that's 25% crit, and that's 15% buster, which is better than 35% crit. And then you can NP, and then, like, it's basically the same situation, except you have better buffs.
Well, okay,
passive buffs.
I understand. I feel like a lot of people might not, like, they probably missed the mark. Like I don't think they think the buff itself is horrible. It's just like the servant is bad.
Yeah,
So
it's
the
either-
buff didn't make the servant bad. It's like I think a recent memory.
It's either that, but like some people, the way they talk about it, it sounds like they're not just being hyperbolic about it. Like isn't.
Here's the fix. Just let him use his MP again once he transforms. Let it stack. Like, what's the harm? So he heals himself, his max HP goes up, and he gets another buster buff. Let him do it. Let him be one of those like stupid stacking things. Come on, who cares?
Yeah.
That would make him useful.
I just feel like you know, the another example I have is Cha-Cha. Who even remember what Cha-Cha's buff was, the recent one?
It's they increased the charge per turn, and they also gave her a 30%
Added buster
buster
up.
buff.
Yeah.
Okay, that's a great buff, but nobody thinks it's good because Cha-Cha is a horrible servant. Well, it's not horrible, not even, but she's not even nearly as bad as Hyde, obviously. But like Cha-Cha's not a good servant, so people are not gonna take note of the buff. Like that's a problem with buffs, because they only do one each time. There are some servants that require multiple buffs at once to see a difference in performance, right? So I understand like this is a strong buff. Like any transformation servant realistically wants a button to instantly transform. Well, half of them do just have a button that allows them to instantly transform, but like any sort of these I guess like install super type of MPs, you know, like Holmes got a 50 batter. That was a great buff if you want to DPS with him, right? So I just feel like, you know, people they probably put it the wrong way, or they got confused as to why they think it's bad. I don't think the buff itself is bad. It really is just Hyde is bad. So even if I get to rush my transformation, I got a crappy servant on my field that can MP. So like, who cares, right? So yeah.
So another problem with him is when you, because like, okay, you do get to immediately go to your NP, but you still have to, you still force one extra turn in there before he does things, because you don't want to use his other skills before he NPs, which means like, okay, he NPs, then you can use his skills the next turn. And yeah, that's just annoying to work with. So like, I think like one of the biggest things that they should have done, because like the way this procs is stupid. Like the skill, okay, it tries to proc both of these skills, but if he's not Hyde, the second one
He
won't
fails the
proc.
second one. Yeah.
But then later on, they added multiple servants that have it work a different way. Like you got Passion Lips buff that only activates when she's below 50% HP. The buff still sits there. It just doesn't do anything until they switch.
Oh, I know what you mean.
Yeah, that's
same thing
what
with
they should
Mira's
do.
NP gain. Like Caster Nero has an NP gain buff below 50% HP.
Onaliko with her swords and second
Yeah.
skill.
Yeah, that's a
HP
more
gated,
recent
yeah.
one. Yeah, like they should have done that with them to begin with, because that way you don't get penalized for activating the first and third skill early. So yeah, it's a little stinky, I guess. Also, like, I don't really see a reason for him to not be able to use his NP again. Like,
Yeah, like Ryou. It's stupid.
Like, I'm gonna be honest, I feel like it would be better if, like, this was a 5-turn thing where he, like, after 5 turns, he transforms back. Unless
No.
you NP again, and
I
then
don't
you can
think
stack it
it's
again.
stacking forever would be a bad thing. He's a berserker. He's going to be taking a ton of hits anyway. Realistically, you know, I understand, like, you know, oh, so every time he MPs, his max HP goes up by, you know, 6,000. Yeah, and every turn KP's HP goes up by 4,000. And she's not weak to everything. It's like, and he's not going to be able to pull that off every turn. So he's still in danger of getting chunked out. And yeah, it's like, oh, you MP 4 times. Now he has 120% bust rep. Congrats, you've done 2 Vich skills. Like,
Yeah.
like it's not
I get that.
like, there would be the funny thing of like someone who goes out and they've spent like, you know, 200 turns and he's like has like 100,000 HP and like 500% bust drop, and yeah, that's something, but that's like not practical, and he'll still be killed by an NP.
Yeah, it enables more fun stuff that really doesn't affect there's no realistic. I guess I don't even want to call it a threat, but like there's no realistic like super gameplay impact that would make him suddenly meta or whatnot. Like you look at any of the recent SSR buffs, they're like way more impactful. I mean, they're SSRs, but like I don't know, like making a 3-star a funny gimmick character, I don't see a problem with that, honestly.
Yeah.
But yeah.
There is no harm in it. No harm, no foul. They should just do it.
Yeah. Also,
Yeah, it
this is
can't
an
get removed, but
upgraded
it can also get
NP,
removed from Alco, which is the funny thing. Oh, when Alco gets removed, it's so painful. It's like,
Yeah.
well,
Mm.
At least his isn't tied to MP level.
Yeah, at least hers isn't. Her NP doesn't hinge on that first NP to like do damage. It's like
Yeah.
the Buster buff doesn't affect her NP. It just affects her card, which is
Yeah.
already kind of a weak card.
Yeah. Yeah. Like, Alco is a completely different can of worms. I do like her MP spam playstyle better than her Buster, because like it's just more like she just fits better with our supports. Like at least from my experience, because you know having passive Merlin kind of is good for arts, like way better for arts than Buster supports.
Yeah.
So it's just I just end up using her in ours. So yeah, exactly like you said. I think the AoE Buster card is a bit of a gimmick. I actually like to treat it as a utility tool because it can spread debuffs.
I think part of the intent behind her Buster card being AoE, I think it was to make it sort of like she has a second NP that she can do. Because like if you like get her to a good NP level and you buff it up good, like it can do like pretty nice amounts of AoE damage. Like
I think
like,
the extra
if
attack is more so like that, right? Because the extra attack actually eats all your missiles, and it can go above 100%. Go above the 500% attack up cap.
Yeah.
I
think that was their idea with Alco, which was just to make her an AoE that can AoE 3 times instead of just 1 time. But it's just a little wonky. Last night I actually someone in chat got me to use her against Lobo, and she to be fair, that one was NP5, but I feel like she's really easy to make work. It's just like you get that first NP and then bam, like you can build her as a crit servant. Makes sense.
And it's a 4-turn cooldown on a solemn defense. Like that is, you're not gonna be taking a lot of damage, to be honest. Like that is probably the best part about her post transformation, other than the passive.
And it just converts any invuln to it as well, so it's like,
yeah, you can use Atlas. Like I've definitely seen some Alco solos. Her solos are a bit wonky because of how her card works. Like you don't always get the extra attack for overkill value, which kind of sucks. But at the same time, like that 4-turn cooldown on the invul is just really really good, right? Like in general.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
It's pretty cool.
Pretty cool. Anyways, Jekyll and Hyde.
Yeah, Jekyll, worst version of Aoko by a very large very large margin.
Yes.
Anyways, so next up we got Medusa Lily, who got a pretty simple buff, but it helps her out a lot, I'd say. So her thing has always been like she uses her NP and she can stun the enemy. She's got like an 80% chance at base, which is really high chance. It's not hard to get her to stun. And then she also has a charm for male enemies on a different skill, so she could charm walk pretty nice.
Is this the buff? Not a different skill that was buffed?
No, I was just saying
No, it was skill 3.
The charm there. Okay. Her buff was the 3rd skill, which made it so like it used to be a 7-turn cooldown, 1-time invuln, and then 3-turn guts, which is not very nice. I feel like that's kind of shit, because like if it's a 7-turn cooldown, I want it to be more than 3-turn duration, and like the secondary effect isn't strong enough, I'd say, for it to be that long downtime. But then they switched it up. Now it's a shorter cooldown, so like 3-turn duration, 6-turn cooldown. That's pretty standard these days for guts. Still only 1 hit on the invuln, which I think that's fine. Like
You use it to block an MP.
Yeah, you use it to block an NP, and then like you can have the other one block a separate NP. And then you also got 30% battery, so she's able to use her NP more often. And yeah, I mean, I'd love to see some sort of buff on her 2nd skill, just because like 1-turn attack buff is usually not that nice.
And it's 30%. They should really extend it to a 3 turns. 3-turn 30% is not crazy.
Yep.
Yeah.
I've definitely seen impressive like solos of this character as well. Just like you said, the combination of that charm skill and this and the MP just allows her to like
stun as well.
Yeah,
because you can stun and then charm and then block and then.
Yeah, I will say this one thing. I do not like this about this first skill buff, because if you have a 20% quick resist on this skill, that implies that you want to NP when you use this. And like if it was a quick buff, that would make more sense, because you could charm one person and stun another. But with this, like, you don't want to use this and then
MP.
stun them. It's like it's wasted.
Yeah, I've definitely she's one of the ones that could solo Super Wood was. That's Super Wood was, so it's funny. Ironically, I think the only Gorgon sister that can't do it was Uriel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh wait, no.
Did Uriel do it?
Maybe she did, but
sure
she's
Uriel
more
did.
likely. She's more likely to have been able to than Writer Medusa, which is funny because she's kind of.
Okay. Yeah, I mean the underaged Gorgon sisters.
They're older than Medusa.
The
older
lowly
sisters, aren't they?
the lowly Gorgon sisters.
I refuse.
Why are we stop? Can we not go into this week?
I'm not even trying to go into this. It's just like their body types are lowlies. Like what?
Like let's no.
The little short. Okay, the short stack.
Let's just say
the
short.
stack.
Let's just say short, not short stack. That is a completely different thing, sir.
Short stack implies large boobs.
Oh.
Why are we? Stop.
I didn't even know that. The short.
You can just say the older sisters. Next topic.
Older sisters,
but
maybe that are short.
Gorgon.
Stop.
This one.
Stop.
This one's not. Okay,
Stop.
whatever.
Just stop. Okay. Like I don't want this topic to progress again, because we had something like this last week, and that might have been when we got limited ads.
Okay.
Anyways, this is a pretty. It's a pretty good buff. Yeah. So. Next up, we got Diarmuid. I don't know. I'm Irish, but I
Diarmuid.
don't know. So like I feel like he gets a bit hate. Like I think he was like decent before because like even though like this skill only works against females, and then like you got this skill which used to just be Stargent, and like considering how he has like 2 hits on everything except for his extra, like that wasn't that great. But like he had an evade when you're up against a female that was like some team survival, and then like his NP removes buffs. Like I like buff removal on especially on NPs.
Mm-hmm.
But what they did
He
with
just
his third skill was they just made it sort of just a normal skill. 20%
Yeah.
quick arts, so it affects most of his cards, and then 30% crit. I feel like the numbers are definitely lower than they needed to be. They could be 30, 30, 50 instead of 20, 20, 30. But
Mm-hmm.
it's a positive change.
Yeah, he really just has been suffering from the community really like to praise Ku. I mean, I'm not saying it's undeserved, but like it really is just single target
Just
quick
so
lancer.
similar.
Yeah, and then like in general, he doesn't have that many
He
things
has
that
bad
make him
games
stand out.
too.
He doesn't have that many things that make him stand out, I guess, because like Ku just has so many unique things in his kit, right? Like his playstyle is very distinct and very distinctly strong as well. So it's just like he has a bad rep because why? Yeah,
Yeah.
that really is the issue. Like again, 3-star servants, you got to be pretty strong to compete with those stinky welfares as well, right?
Yeah.
I do agree. One of the buffs we will see today does allow him to compete very well against the stinky welfares, but yeah.
Oh, I don't know
Yeah.
which one you're talking about.
I'm not sure either. We'll get to that
Oh,
eventually.
yeah,
maybe.
yeah, we'll get to that eventually, yeah.
Yeah, maybe. But yeah,
Yeah, we will.
that's it.
Yeah, no,
That-
Diarmuid, I mean, like, it didn't change his position at all.
it just
he's
made him
still
a little
exactly
better
in
at
this-
damage. That's it.
The people who use Diarmuid don't use him because he's good. They use him because they like Diarmuid.
Mm.
I mean, that's
Like
that's
Fate
a lot
Zero.
of that's a lot of low stars though. Like, because like there's a decent amount of low stars that are actually like solid and on par with ones that you actually have to pay for. But then like he's like usable. He's not beating other people at anything really, but yeah, it works. No.
Did you ever really see anyone use him though?
Not
I mean,
unless you exclusively use like low stars, and even then, like that's only if you're like stacking lancers instead of that. And like if you want to stack lancers, you're better off with like double coup, proto coup, because then you can just like 3 servants with PFA. It's ridiculous.
yeah. It's like a Castore MP at Overcharge 3.
Without all the necessary need to roll Castoria.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah.
free Castoria. It doesn't give the attack up, and
Yeah.
you're playing
Like-
with 3 stars, but
Yeah.
But yeah, really simple buff.
Mhm.
Next up, we've got Saber Shiki, and I thought she would get. I thought she was supposed to get this buff earlier, but this is the one. This is not the one where she gets the 3-turn effects on her first skill, which is a pretty nice.
This is
buff,
not
I'd say.
not the bigger one. I think this is definitely a smaller buff compared to that one.
yeah, this is the one that changes his 3rd skill, right?
Yeah.
Let's change the battery,
This-
yeah.
This actually works differently than I thought it was, because I thought it was she loses 10% and then targets the charge and then targets the MP, but not the MP, the HP. But it actually always charges her, and she can designate someone else to lose 10% charge. Also,
Oh, is that
Which is why
what?
it's
I haven't used
I
it
mean-
on herself, and I thought that. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that's why it's kind of great, right? Because it's a 30 battery essentially. I mean,
Yeah,
Oh, that's pretty good actually.
it's kind of, in ways, it's a better version of Parvati's third skill, because Parvati's is only like 20% targetable, but it
hmm
drains it. I think it only drains it from herself.
Yeah.
yeah, it
So
drains
like,
10 from herself. Yeah.
yeah, and then like it heals whoever. For I don't know if it's 5k or 3k for Parvati. I want to say it's 5k. Maybe it's
The
4k.
heal? I
Yeah.
don't think it's 5k. I don't think she
Yeah,
heals that
5k
much, but
is
I could be
pretty
wrong.
big.
Yeah. Like this is a very good sustain skill. Like if you only care about HP, 4 turn cooldown, like 5k heal. Like this gives her like
Whoa.
surprisingly amount of sustain.
What?
What?
What'd you say whoa for?
Well, I was scrolling it down by holding down the scroll wheel, and sometimes when I take my finger off of the scroll wheel button, it just doesn't come off of that, so it just like stays like it. It's like, you
Oh.
know.
Also,
like
also
you
yeah,
can-
it's 3k. I just checked.
Okay, it is 3k.
It
Gotcha.
is 3k.
But yeah, like the fact that she can just take someone else's charge and get herself 30% charge, that is quite nice. That's better than what I thought it would be. Also, if you want to, you can make her like loop against 3/3 X as a result of this, because she has like flat 10%. What helps it is the fact that they eventually changed it so she instant kills after damage, I believe.
Yes.
Mhm.
What the buff they'll never give Nito Chris.
Yeah, that would be nice.
Just get the altar, bro. I know you have her 120. But...
Yeah, I do have 120, but I would like normal Nito to be good. Do you know how many people would probably have 120 Nitos if like she could like properly loop?
I forgot how good her refund is, but I think
it's not amazing, but it's enough to loop if you don't kill anything.
Yeah, I mean,
The
she's
problem
got
is-
120% battery, doesn't she?
yeah, and
the problem is
also
she kills things.
there's another problem with the other one. I feel like the other one has this problem even worse. The other Nito Chris.
Oh, Summer Nito? Yeah, okay.
Yeah,
Summer Nito is also bad.
That one's like, oh my god, why?
Yeah, she needs that a lot more than the other one,
Yeah.
because you're not gonna. She doesn't
It-
have the massive battery that lets you just like immediately kill a wave.
Yeah, they should. Buff Summer Nito. You know what? Never mind. Buff Summer Nito. Give her 3 buffs. It's one of those things where it's like one buff won't do it. You got to do like 3.
Just upgrade our MP and then change the
I just mapped
change
it out,
sequence.
and if you're up against 3 Lancers, she refunds like 39%. I'm talking about Shiki here.
That's honestly not bad. That's like quick servant numbers.
Yeah,
Sometimes.
it's enough for you to Black Grail Oberon,
Yeah.
I think. Because if you do that, then you've got
Yeah, you
100%.
got the extra 30, and then you
Yeah,
do
50, and then yeah, I think you have like exactly enough. It's just how you split it. The flat charge is pretty helpful in that regard,
Mhm.
because like she gives the entire team 10%. She is pretty comparable to Parvati in that way, I guess, because the third skills function very similarly as well.
Yeah, Saber
is.
Shiki is good now. It's weird because she was like kind of dumped on for a while, but like,
Yeah, dude, I'm gonna be honest. I feel like she's better than Muramasa, because like I know Muramasa can refund and he has a bigger battery and all, but like if you're going to be going in a challenge quest with one of them, I feel like she fits it better, because like one of the, like, if I'm thinking of using Muramasa, I'm thinking like what unique things does he bring to the table? And I think, well, he's got ignore defense, he's got pierce and vuln, and he
You
has
got the
card
crits.
damage.
I think that's
Yeah.
yeah, card damage. Yeah.
But when you look at the two of these, well, she does. She has ignore
She has
defense
an
on her
upgraded
MP.
MP. Yeah, and like 3-turn invul pierce. Like yeah,
and
Yeah,
the
in a
invul
challenge
pierce
quest
is
for
better.
sure, she's better. I think in a challenge quest, yeah, 100%, no doubt.
In a farming scenario, that's different, of course, but like, I mean, like, there's no world where I'm going to be using an arts saber to do like my anti-lancer looping these days.
Oh yeah. I mean, we got better options, anyways. Like,
Man, Summer Boogie really fucking up for a lot of AoE art servants.
I mean, basically, that's what I mean by she's a bit like stupid. Like, it's just like every time when a character comes out, you need to compare. Every time an art servant comes out, AoE art servant comes out, you have to compare like, oh, what edge does she have over using Summary Buki? And then usually, especially nowadays, they do have some edge. But is that edge enough for me to roll for another 3 fucking copies of this character? The answer is gonna be no. So what people end up doing is they just pull Summary Buki and then they never touch AoE art. So it is, in my opinion, that they should just stop making AoE art servants. Like, just give up on that.
I hope this summer we don't get an AoE arts. I know we've said this before, but like,
yeah,
that's
like genuinely. Just give up. Just give up. Stop trying to be like, oh, I'm gonna be innovative about this, and then make people want to roll. No, fucking give up. Just make other archetypes. I don't. This archetype.
you're
AoE
the
arts is
reverse motivational speaker. Just give up. Stop trying.
So I don't.
Don't do your best.
I don't.
It's dead. The AoE arts archetype is dead, bro.
I think that they should just be more interesting about their AoE arts. Like, I don't want them to just try and make another generic farmer, because we have so many. You know, like, they've been focusing on so many like omni looping AoE arts stuff. Like, we've got like 4 AoE, actually technically 6 AoE arts Avengers that you can use to varying degrees of success, but just make them do something else.
Yeah, just honest, just stop printing AoE art. Sure, make Shiki, but like at this point with Shiki, you can make her any card type, right? Like so
make another Andromeda, but for arts. Maybe not the exact same thing, but like try to innovate on something similar, because like Andromeda is like
AoE arts
great
pretended
game
that they
design.
exist. It's Cagliostro. He's a 50 MP battery charger as well. He's literally that. I mean, he's a 4-star. He's got lower stats, but he's basically an arts looper.
Wait, he has 50%?
Yeah, he has 50%.
Oh.
You were as surprised the first time you heard about it as you were today.
Was I?
Yes.
Have we had this conversation before?
We had this conversation before. Yes.
Look,
Yeah,
I'm
don't worry,
sorry.
a couple more months.
He's
we'll remind him
the
again.
thing is Cagliostro is not the type of character I'm aiming for.
Yeah.
And it's not anything to do with how he looks.
Yeah.
For your information.
It's his
Because
month,
he's a dude.
It's his month. Stop
No,
it.
what do you mean it's his month?
It's his month. It's his month. Anyways.
But no, I just have no need for an AoE arts pretender. I'm sorry. Like, it's actually just not a it's not a particular archetype I need.
Is
AoE
pretender,
arts is just
is pretender an
not a
archetype
thing.
anyone needs? Like, I feel like the only one that really gets away with it, excuse me, that well is like Faker, and well, I mean the other ones that are good are supports, so I don't feel like the class really contributes there. But
I mean,
like
Faker
Faker gets through because
coverage,
she's
at
very like there's a lot of versatility there. Like, you can use her.
She
against
also
a bunch
gets,
And
of-
like,
she's
a-
anti-caster.
yeah. She gets like 1 extra class coverage.
So
from
she
skill.
has. I think that additional class coverage really helps. I think if pretenders and alter egos all had something, because like Kiara, anti-ruler, and so she has like. I think if like all like alter egos and pretenders had one other class they could hit, then I think that would make them much more valuable, because then they're kind of generalists, but then they also are a little bit specialized, right?
Yeah, I mean the only character I wouldn't be happy for that to happen to is Bazette.
Okay, Bazette.
Yeah, but yeah.
You could make Bazette be
Actually, Bazette kind of I don't know.
know what? I just thought of something. You know how some people
Have
say,
that be Avengers?
you know how some people say that that Alex is a quick support? You know who's a better quick support than Alex?
I don't know.
Maid Alter. Because she gives like team quick, but she has cooldown reduction and HP up.
Oh yeah,
which is
but she's more
interesting.
expensive.
Yeah, but like,
Yeah, the thing about Alexander is he's a 3-star.
yeah, but like he doesn't offer much. Like
Yeah,
I
He
feel
offers
like,
enough for a 3-star to be worthwhile.
Like
I guess
here's
he
the
does have the buff removal these days. I forgot about that.
here's the thing. I don't think like quick supports need to be someone who gives quick up. That is stupid sentence, but like I don't necessarily think I guess no, you do need to have a quick up to be called a quick support, but at the same time, you don't necessarily need a quick support to use a quick servant. Right? So I just yeah.
Like for example, Jufu I feel like is a pretty solid quick support. Even though she doesn't have a quick buff, she has that NP gain buff. And
She has crit up.
Yeah, she has.
Was it arts crit up or it's just generic crit up, right? Yeah.
She has stars which can fill in the gaps for servants that don't make as many stars but want to because they're a quick servant.
Yeah, so like yeah, exactly. So I wouldn't bring Alex over another quick support, another low star support for a quick servant, right? Like
there's sometimes
Unless you need buffs removed. Like, see, the thing is
True.
that he
Yeah.
removes buffs.
yeah, there is buff.
Like, it
removal.
doesn't matter. Like, there's not a lot of low rarity, buff removers. And he also gives a little bit of quick damage and attack up. Like, so it's
Yeah.
like, it's
it's him and Phantom.
yeah.
Dude.
It's like it's a situational servant that you can use as a support. So it's not about being the always necessary one. It's about just being there in the right place in the right time.
Yeah, I just don't like how people are calling him the budget quick support when the old
I've
Chinese
heard
guy
that,
exists.
Yeah, he's a little more pointed in that direction.
It doesn't matter.
Hold on just a second. So I just thought of something kind of funny. Like someone in chat said something that made me realize something. So you can, like, on the opposite side, like, okay, well, you want to have a quick buff if you're buffing quick servants. But then you also have these situations where, like with Korean Skya, for example, where you desperately just want other types of buffs because she puts all of her eggs in the card type basket, just like Buster buffs instead, which is why you want attack buffs so badly for other supports or for other servants, because like you want to like diversify. If you're trying to do more damage, then you're gonna want to diversify the types of buffs you have. And if you're only using someone because they have like a card buff, yeah, you get what I mean.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I understand.
Yeah, it's just like more so does the support help replace what the servant doesn't have? That's what it is. Like that's what, like if we can operate in a situation where for years and years Merlin can be used as an art support, and he's like genuinely one of the best options for that.
Well,
like,
he wasn't.
and it
It's not so much art as his sustained support.
yes, which fits the arts archetype better.
I mean, yeah,
than,
like
the Buster.
if you look at some classic arts teams, it's usually like Merlin, Tamamo, Vlad, Vernon, Tamamo, or Orion, right? Like it's always Merlin, Tamamo, because he has the deck, he has everything except for that skill 3 color, right? Color is incorrect, quote unquote. And then of course they fixed it by releasing Proto Merlin, and then now all is well with the world. But yeah, I know what you mean exactly.
But yeah,
Huh?
no, it's no, we're
Okay.
But yeah, it I don't know. So it's like, yeah, I get where you're coming from on that.
So yeah, anyways, like the next one is one near and dear to my heart because it's such a good buff.
Is it Murasaki?
And,
No. Oh, it's Fergus.
no, there's like 4 servants on this list that I have grailed that got buffed, which is really nice. But Fergus, like, some people were kind of confused with him for a long time. Like his thing is he's really tanky and he has buster cards, so he's the type of servant you put in the back of the party to clean up, especially against lancers because they do no damage to him. But yeah, Buster deck is really nice because like Buster chains are really nice, and since he's AOE, like you don't worry as much about his NP. Like basically the entirety of his NP is being a tenderizer for his cards. It is upgraded, but it just doesn't have very many effects on it. But like he's got a 3-turn 30% attack buff. Okay, that confused me. I forgot that I had that sound redeem. Not that sound redeem. It was hold on a second. I actually have to fix something.
This is the buff I was talking about, by the way. Like allowing him to be. I mean, there's not a lot of good AOE Saber welfares, to be fair.
I've never thought about Fergus. I'm gonna be honest. I don't even know what his buff is.
Guys, stop.
I think he's.
I'm not talking to you guys. I'm talking about chat.
He's like, in my opinion, as a general DPS, he's better than Saber Lily.
Yeah, I get that.
He has better survival. He has better, like, I guess not necessarily with like, you know, full on double Koyan comms or whatever, but like, if for example, if I'm doing a quote unquote free to play run, I definitely pick him over Saber Lily, for example. Like he's just a more well-rounded unit that deals with everything essentially.
So why do we all think this? So they gave him a skill buff, which we haven't talked about yet.
Oh yeah, shit. Okay.
So like he used to have a 25% defense buff for 3 turns, and the demerit for that effect, which like does that really deserve a demerit? It was a 3-turn 50% offensive buff success rate debuff. So,
which was weird.
Yeah, so you would have like a coin flip every time he you tried to apply an offensive buff to him, which was just annoying. That's part of why he was more of a survivalist, because it was just hard to build him as a DPS. But they buffed it, and they added 20% Buster for 3 turns, 50% Buster crit for 3 turns, and they removed that debuff, which is, I feel like that's the most impactful aspect of the skill, because it's so much easier to build a team around having him do damage.
Mm-hmm.
And like now you got 30% attack, another 20% defense down on the NP, and 20% Buster, 50% crit. You have a lot of modifiers going into his Buster crits.
Yeah, and the cooldown's short as fuck.
Yeah, because like
It's got 2 turn downtime,
yeah, that was something I had to mention on the tier list streams when we were talking about him. Like one of the people focus too much on battery cooldown reduction when they talk about Vitch. They don't really talk as much about just like cooldown reduction in general, because like you think like, okay, 50% battery cooldown reduce, use someone else's battery, and then cooldown reduce, so on and so forth. But like that's like that kind of disregards like, so he doesn't have a battery, but if you use one Vitch on him, bam, you have the absorb, you have the stars to facilitate his crits, and then you've got these skills up because they're both on 5-turn cooldowns. They're up for 6 turns straight, so it's great. And then also you can double stack it if you're using 2 Vitches, but I prefer the having it up for 6 turns straight over having it. Yeah, you know.
That depends on the fight, really, whether you want it 6 turns straight or double stacked.
Yeah, it's just I generally don't do min turns, so like I don't feel that as valuable. Because
I mean,
like, what I'll,
not necessarily min turns, but what if you're in a situation where you have like a defensive thing up that turn, and you can block one NP, and you know if you break the bar that turn, he'll forcibly charge an NP, but they're already at max NP, and so you need to break it then. Otherwise, you're not going to be able to survive the second one. That's not min turning. That's tactics. And
I get that.
Like situations like that is what I mean. Like sometimes, depending on the situation, you can double stack it. You know.
Yeah, I get that, but you also have to realize that he is a very secure servant, like with his own survival, and like he's got 45% defense for 3 turns, and he's got his own evade. So yeah, it is contextual, ultimately, but I don't know. Like it kind of depends, like if that damage is going to be enough or not. Because you might not need that much damage after all. Like if I'm going to be using him against Lancers, like you have these buffs up, he's easily doing like at least 50k, like probably 60k with his self buffs. So yeah. Yeah. But like if I'm double stacking, okay, that means I have access to 2 Vitches, which means like I feel like I'm not gonna have too big of a problem. Like I feel like I can just like dump resources into having some other sort of support that can cycle in and keep damage up for a longer period of time. You know, like having a Summer Scotty instead.
There is a funny tactic. I mean, if you look at his thing, he's got 25 defense up. Double stack that, that's 50 defense. Third skill, that's 70% defense. Look, if they got invul and pierce and everything, and you got no way to block it, you know, maybe stacking 70% defense, you know, can survive.
Yeah, it could be. Yeah.
The funny.
But yeah, no, his MP though, yeah, no, Saber Lily will do more damage on NP. But on cards he will. Saber Lily's cards are just, who has higher attack, Saber Lily or him on cards? Actually, that really depends. I mean, he has buffs for his cards, so it'll definitely be him. But
does he have a higher attack? I think he might have a higher attack stat because Saber Lily has 3-star stats, right?
Saber Lily's attack stat is 7,726. His is 7,004. Okay, so she is slightly higher. So
she's slightly higher.
On the turn with her mana burst up, she might, a Buster Brave Chain from her might do more damage.
Yeah.
Depends.
I feel like she's just someone that depends more on her NP, though. So she's more of an AoE DPS.
She has the higher scaling and everything. She's very much so. I feel like cards are a vehicle to NP.
I feel like he's kind of like Gawain in the fact that he fits the single target role more so than the AoE role. Although with Gawain, like he got that NP upgrade, now he's a little. And
his MP, I mean, his MP also helps his card. I kind of know what you mean. It's like an AoE MP with a Buster deck and a crit card centric sort of kit.
Yeah, it's a very card centric kit because the Buster crit damage up. It helps that he has 3 Buster cards. That's another thing. Like if he had 2 Buster cards, I think it would be a lot harder to use them.
Yeah,
but
he wouldn't stand out as much.
Yeah, he wouldn't stand out as much because you just want to click Buster or something.
As time goes on, I am more in favor of triple Buster decks on Buster Servants and just give them a good arts card. And like, you know what? Maybe that's all we need. Maybe 1 arts is all we need.
That's so interesting because I'm the opposite. I've always been this gorilla deck. Like I've been pushing gorilla decks, but like I've seen servants like Morgan and Tonalico with like such powerful arts. I guess it's an individual case.
No, but imagine if Tonalico had 3 Buster cards and her arts card was just as good as it is. Because Tonalico, when I'm using her, I'm doing a mighty chain. I'm not using 2 arts cards together. So I don't need that second arts card.
Well, yeah, okay, but like here's the thing, right? Let's say you're min turning now. If you need to roll an arts card every turn, the RNG is significantly worse.
That's true.
Right, so like I don't know.
I am just in general. I kind of am leaning more towards wanting you know, Buster servants with good arts cards right now versus AoE art servants, because I feel like I'm covered with AoE arts right now. Like I don't like in even single target arts, I feel like I'm good. So I would like some more interesting. I think Buster single target is a we haven't had a lot of recently, like good Buster single target. Like
This is Beema.
it's not, well, Beema, yeah, was the only one I could think of recently.
Yeah, it's just Beema. Yeah, that's what I mean. I think it's just Beema, right?
Yeah, like Buster single target. I'm looking at the list here, and I think Ptolemy. Okay, Ptolemy was Buster single target.
Ptolemy's a bit weird. Like Ptolemy would be a top tier Buster single target if he could choose not to transform with his skill 3, because that Buster mode skill 3 is what they have like 5 effects on a 5-turn cooldown. It has what a star gen up, star absorb up, crit up, a Buster up. I think it has like 5 different fucking effects for Buster cards.
Yeah, it's MP gain up. It's
it's MP gain
damage up, star weight up.
Oh, star weight up
and gain stars.
Yeah, and star
So
bomb.
it's 4 effects.
Oh, 4 effects. My bad. Okay, I completely butchered that. But like, yeah, I mean, he's just got a really good skill 3. This is all I remember. If it was like on a 5-turn cooldown. But unfortunately, it's not how it works.
Yeah, the problem is if you're doing him in a single target setup, you get to press that skill once and only once. That's why it's like, I kind of wish it was a one-way trip for him. Because if it was a one-way trip from single target to AoE like Melusine, his other 2 skills would be more heavily stacked.
For sure.
Because and so that's why I think him versus Melusine. I think Melusine is a better design transformation because even though it's a one-way thing, they stacked her 2 other skills.
Yeah.
To be an entire kit.
And honestly, I think one way is better. I think one way is better.
One way is better because you're committing like to
it. You're tying one of your skill effects that you might want to use without changing. Like, but you have no choice with Ptolemy. You're forced to transform. How did it come to Ptolemy? Anyways, my bad.
Well, it just came a single target Buster.
So,
and I think Ptolemy's interesting. So
yeah, he is fun.
Going back to Fergus, some people are not up to the lore with who I have grailed and all. This is mine. This is my alts.
You have a 120 Fergus. No wonder you're excited.
Yeah.
He grails dudes.
Yeah, on a separate account.
Like, don't want to know my main account, but
yeah, I've got 2 grailed guys on my main account. So yeah, he's got like his appends maxed out. Of course, he's MP5. I got his cards maxed out. Whoa, Estrella. Yeah, I don't have anything on class score yet, but that's because I'm sitting at the CERN fight for fun.
Oh, your account is bricked. It's officially bricked. If you aren't maxing your class score optimization of dust gain, you're bricking your account. I'm sorry.
I think I have only ever missed 1 dust.
I have missed 1 day of dust when I was like, I don't remember what it was. I was out of my house and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And I thought I was going to be like, I'm like, yeah, I'll just get it done that day. And then I realized it was past noon, which is the reset time for me.
Yeah.
So I've missed 30. So my account is bricked.
Damn.
And I will have to delete it and start over.
True.
Yeah,
I think I fell asleep.
Go back in time and restart it instead of making sure you actually got it
If I could go back in time to the start of Fate Grand Order, 1, I would play Fate Grand Order a lot differently and manipulate the content creation scene. 2, I would also use my knowledge of the stocks and crypto memes to make a ton of money. So, I'll gladly go back to the start of Fate Grand Order.
I feel like that has nothing to do with Fate Grand Order.
Has nothing to do with Fate Grand Order. But if you're sending me back in time for the sake of Fate Grand Order, I might as well take advantage of my knowledge of crypto pump and dump scams and take advantage of that.
Okay, but like, if you did that and you had like a ton of money, would you even make content on YouTube then?
I wouldn't stop doing Fate Grand Order nonsense.
Are you sure you wouldn't?
But I would be if I had infinite money, I'd be the guy that every time a raid up comes up, I'd be like, let's go MP5 and just gotcha on stream.
Yeah. Do you know what you would have if you invested in crypto? You'd have an MP5 crane.
I would have an MP5 crate.
Damn.
Think about it. Think about my minterns. If I had MP5 crate, that's why I need to go back in time to invest in crypto so I can afford the MP5 crate.
That is so fucking sad, but I agree with you. I would have MP5 Constantine and Timiko
I
and
have money to
level
do
1.
Yeah, I'm sorry. If I had more money, I don't think my interests would change. Don't care about cars. I'm not going out drinking. Not doing drugs. Like, what am I going to spend money on? Like,
Don't worry, dude. Give it enough time. You'll go to the drugs. It
I will
happens
never
with all
go to
the
drugs.
actors.
no, I wouldn't. I don't.
He's not an actor.
Yeah, but the thing is, like, they sit there with like a shit ton of money they made from a few movies for a long time, and they have like no ambitions anymore. So they just like eventually do drugs and.
No, you get every servant to MP5.
That'd be me
yeah,
playing FGO.
That's better than drugs. It's better than drugs. Oh, it's better than. Oh, I love sitting there
gambling.
resetting. I love sitting there resetting for RNG for 5 hours.
Well,
I
good thing I don't have
It's
a
my
job, so I
drug.
can do it.
Oh,
That's my drug.
fuck. Sorry, but
Yeah.
I don't smoke. Trust me. I don't know why I'm like this. I just I never recover from that cold.
I don't know why I'm like this.
Why are you like this? I don't know.
I don't know.
FGO, my anti-drug. That's right. I'll go back to the 90s when the DARE program in school with Scruff McGruff the crime dog or something like that. Be like, I play Fate Grand Order and that's how I don't do drugs. And they're like, what's Fate Grand Order? This is the 90s. What's Fate? You have to stop 9/11, Rio.
All we got over here is Mihoyo.
True.
Wait, when was Mihoyo?
It was like
We gotta
90s,
invest in
wasn't
that.
It?
It was so old.
It was like 95 or something.
The funniest thing I've ever seen of Mihoyo is like a promo piece of Aoko named Mrs. Blue, because that's what her name means.
Hold on, the original was written in
Dude.
1996. Okay, I definitely would be like,
Dude.
yeah, I'm like, I'd be like, you know,
I
in
can't-
school, a little kid going, my favorite fiction writer is, you know, Natsu, and I'd be like, like who? Yeah, he writes, yeah, Kinoko Natsu.
What about
Read
a
his work.
mushroom?
Here, let me show you his famed mollusk loving porns from the early 2000s. Tsukihime.
Damn.
Can you believe that?
Did you pre-order the remake?
Can you believe that Aoko is in her 50s now?
Oh yeah. It is.
She can't do her. No, never mind.
I mean,
so
she is Magecraft.
On the 4th day of anniversary,
Your true love
FGO
gave
gave
to
to
you
me an Ushi
One
buff.
Ushi. Can she lose?
It's honestly a pretty good buff. Like
yeah,
in a
you see,
vacuum.
if she can do so with cards and stuff. That copy pasta is way too long for me to quote any part of it
no one
at all.
can no one remembers that. No one can remember the whole copy pasta.
But don't worry, if you donate Fino like $500, you'll
It
hear
will
it
play and
in
it's like
its
15
entirety.
minutes long.
Oh my
Yeah.
god.
But
Pay
it's
to cringe.
pay to cringe.
Pay
What
to
buff
cringe,
did they give her?
baby.
NP buff?
Yeah,
Yeah.
MP buff with an anti-trade. It's actually really.
Yeah,
Oh, it's just
yeah.
lawful.
I guess it's like she saw her uncle show up and he had anti-lawful, and she just decided to do the same thing. So
Oh,
before
true.
it was, it dealt damage, removed offensive buffs, and reduced quick resist, which is actually that's a pretty decent NP already. But then they buffed it, and now she does the same thing, but she does 50%, and it doesn't stack. I mean, it doesn't scale or anything, but 50% more damage to lawful enemies. So I guess this is the year of anti-lawful, because we're about to get Arc. Wait, is it? No, she's anti-chaotic.
She's
Never-
He's
chaotic.
anti-chaotic. Yep.
Never mind. I'm full of shit.
See, you should have
yeah, yeah.
watched Banner Breakdown.
I actually did though. Okay,
Why?
I did that.
Why would you watch that?
I watched it
I don't
too.
know. You tell me. You just said that I should have.
I watch your videos to support you and to see if you have any weird opinions.
Okay, I mean that's good. I feel so bad. My bad.
Also, sometimes, sometimes I just want to see what you're saying.
Yeah,
You see what I'm saying every week already.
Yeah, sometimes I want to go in your comment section, leave a comment, and have like 20 people like it because you hearted it specifically.
Oh my god, me when I heart comments. Me when creator heart comment. I mean, yeah, I don't know.
Anti-neutral or balanced? Yeah, yeah, Say does. I think it's I think Berserker Say has no, she has anti-good, and then Archer Say has anti-neutral. It's a very weird thing to have because like you think of it, it's like, okay, so like anti-chaotic, so chaotic people, or anti-lawful. It's just like, why would you target the people in the middle?
Because
Like,
who are they? Boring.
Who are they hurting?
Anti-boring, bro. Anti-boring.
Yeah, I think that's the justification with Say's NP. It's such an emotional blast that it hurts people who don't have strong feelings in either direction.
Yeah. How dare you not? She doesn't even dab. She's just like taking a picture. Actually, no, she does dab.
Yeah. Yeah, she does dab. She dabbed, actually it wasn't before it was cool. That was well after. Dabbing was a thing when I was in high school.
Okay, so the explanation of that was that was a gesture done by Japanese idols. It wasn't a dab. It was basically a dab, but like it's a different thing. Like it was a thing like way before it got big in the West, and it was an idol thing. Apparently, somebody told me. I don't know.
Idol thing?
Yeah, it's an idol thing. Like idols do that. Idols dab on stage.
Yeah.
Apparently.
These idols are dabbing on me.
Yeah, dabbing,
Yeah, idols are dabbing on stage, bro.
Dude, dabbing was like stale by like 2017. Which was after I graduated, and that was 2 years into this game's life.
Yeah.
Yes, I know that Murasaki is also neutral good, okay? But
Oh
like,
yeah,
to
true.
be
She
fair-
just hates Murasaki. Actually, no, she doesn't hate Murasaki.
To be fair, we didn't know about that being the reason why she had anti-neutral until way later, because Murasaki got the same thing against her, where she had anti-chaotic good.
Yeah. Also, yeah. I mean, honestly, that event kind of painted Murasaki in a bad light. She's kind of like this really petty content creator that criticizes other content creators. I feel like I should stop self-reporting, but like,
Damn, dude, you're gonna get in your like 4th drama this year. You need to stop this, dude.
You can't help it.
We're barely halfway through.
You don't understand. If I do it enough, I'll be a servant after I die.
Oh.
An Avenger.
You don't understand. Anyways.
Yeah.
That's just playing all along.
Just reminding myself the skill set she has, because I knew that she had like a 40% battery. It's weird. I knew she had a low cooldown evade.
Here's the thing: is that 40% battery is the biggest joke. Like, okay, on a quick servant, if you have a 50% battery, that allows you to do stuff, right? If you have a 30% battery, that allows you to like use 50% CE and you have your append, right? You have a 40% battery. Well,
That
it's just a 40% battery. It's basically a 30% battery, but you get no additional effects.
I mean, that's
that's
just
It's like 30% batteries usually have secondary effects.
The good thing is you don't have to max your second append at all. You just unlock it and then bam,
True.
same thing.
True.
But 30% servants with 30% batteries, quick servants, the 30% battery tends to have other effects that can aid them in damage or looping. Whereas, she has a 40% battery, and that's all it is. And it.
I feel like this is a year or two problem. I feel like this is a year.
What do you
two
mean
problem.
helping in looping? You mean like a quick buff or an attack buff?
Well, like, okay.
MP gain of 100%.
NP gain.
Or NP gain, yeah.
Anything like that. Any of those. Like, look at the,
it's like
the
two
string
things.
of...
She has a quick buff.
Right, but... So, servants have multiple of the same buff. But, like, look at, for example, like what's the reason one? Like, Britomart, her 30% battery. I mean, that one's a buster, a quick buff. What does Senriku have on her 30% battery?
She has overcharge and an invuln.
And it's targetable.
And it's targetable. Yeah, so she has that. But like normally like 30% batteries, like Daikokten has the regen per turn. Like look, so 30% batteries on quick servants tend to have something else.
I know what you mean, but I think this is a year 2 problem instead of a 40 problem.
Wait,
I know 40's
year
bad.
3.
Oh, she's year 3? Never mind.
Yeah,
then.
She was in summer 3.
But also 40% is a bad number because 30% works with the pens normally. 50%, you know, great for starting off on things.
But it's not.
It's just how FGO has evolved
See,
into.
Also,
unfortunately, FGO's a game of trying to make 50s. I think I've said that in some of my reviews.
You also have to remember that there's going to be times where you're using this to bridge the gap on refund rather than get to the first NP.
Right, but then so, 40 being bad is bad because it's not 50. And so
yeah, but it's better than 30.
Enough to but it doesn't bridge her gap so because her refund's not good enough.
So it's still better than a 30 battery.
But if it was 30, she might have had a tool that helped her so she didn't need.
I don't think they would. I don't think they would have done that. Like
I mean, they have for other servants. Like
later on, but like
but like that's what I mean. Like I think a better, you know, the buff she needs is something to her battery. I'm not saying that. I'm saying that if if they ever buff her again, they need.
Oh, okay. If they ever buff her, okay. If they ever buff her again, yes. I think this is the biggest buff she could have possibly gotten because it's an MP upgrade with an
MP upgrade definitely does that, and so it's good, but it doesn't make her very usable. She has more damage, but does it make her more usable is the question.
Just don't farm with her, dude. Who's gonna farm with this thing? Nobody's gonna farm with this thing anymore.
Well, who's gonna do challenge
I'll
quests
have
with
you
her?
know there is a person in Phoenix.
No, stop. Okay.
There's one dedicated person who will farm with her through his own definition of looping.
I mean, okay, here's the thing, right? I can definitely see her being used in challenge quests, right? Like if you're against majority writers that are lawful, I mean, how often does that pop up? Yeah, fair enough. But like, if it's like a gauntlet quest with a lot of lawful people and then like 2 writers, for example, I don't know. I can definitely see her being used in challenge quests, like she's usable. I think because of the MP buff, she's a lot more usable than other units in challenge quests, like in comparison, because she has the damage at the very least, right? I feel like in a challenge quest, it's easier to make up for
the damage is a vague thing for a 4-star assassin. I mean, I know she's not good at MP, but like,
if you want to go that route, then so many 4-stars are just trash.
Like, assassin itself is a very rough class, is the thing.
Well, yeah, you're not wrong, but like,
it's the assassin class that's like, I'm sure if she was in other classes, she might have an easier time doing stuff.
I mean, I don't know. Like in terms of usability, I just feel like, for example, right? I don't have a good example. Who's like a 4-star AOE that doesn't have an MP upgrade and is mid as fuck? I feel like that's most 4-star AOEs.
Even with her upgraded MP, if she's not hitting lawful, she is the same damage as Kichi Hogan. Though I will say with her upgraded MP, she does hit just as hard as Cleopatra. Without Imperial Privilege proc.
Okay, that makes sense. That makes a lot more sense. Never mind. I was like, what the fuck?
But actually, no. Wow, that actually does Okita Assassin have an upgraded MP because she's still lower than Okita.
No, Okita Assassin just has a giant ass quick up. Like a very big fucking quick up.
And then also an NP gain buff, because why not?
Yeah. Unfortunately, like, wait, who can loop? Who?
Okita Assassin, really easily.
Oh yeah, no, she loops no
loop
problem.
PG loop.
Yeah.
Yeah, she can loop PG.
She just cannot rely on any cards at all. That's an unreliable thing.
Yeah, card damage.
Card damage is so that poses a problem more in challenge quests than anything else. Though.
Yeah, ironically, she's a better farmer in a way, I guess.
Yeah, unless you get that one thing that like stops stuns and stuff like that on
the code. Yeah, you can put it on the code. Yeah, there's two. You can get two of them. It's Tomo,
I mean,
Tomo.
Gray is also good though.
Oh yeah, because she's also.
Wait, doesn't Gray
she
have an
also
upgraded MP as well?
Yes, she also has upgraded MP with Info
Like
Pierce.
as far as like AoE assassins go, she's like third place when you hit trait. Like if like top is like Tez against Divine and Super Large, and then second is Koyan against Man and Human, and then third is an Undead that Gray fights, and it's like
Isn't her Undead what 100% as well?
Yeah, 100% for 3 turns. Sounds pretty
Yeah.
familiar.
Yeah,
Yeah,
which,
and you can force that with Summer Woo, and Summer Woo has
Summer
some
Woo is a
buster
good
buff.
thing to Gray. I started seeing Gray show up more often after Summer Woo. So, I mean, Gray has a good kit. Like I think people, as far as AoE assassins go, and as a welfare, I think.
I'm not as offended by her deck than other Buster triple quick decks.
Yeah,
I guess. I don't know why.
Herc doesn't have an MP upgrade. I mean, Hercules doesn't need an MP upgrade. Look, if all you guys want to do is talk about his bond CE, then we don't need to upgrade his MP ever.
True. I don't want to see him do good in Minturn, so honestly.
I don't either. I don't like Hercules' style.
Personal vendetta. I hope he never gets an MP upgrade. Get fucked.
Same.
Anyways, keep going. I'm sorry.
We're so full of hate.
Ijo Koyo should have gotten the buff. I like dinosaurs.
Yes.
Yes. Dinosaurs are better than men.
So anyways,
Wow.
Bart
So
Roberts.
anyway,
This is the other 4th day of anniversary servant. A 1-star servant, which some people are pretty disappointed with the buff because they could have made...
No!
They could have
make
buffed
him a
his
quick buffer.
3rd skill to become AoE, and I think that would have been pretty cool, honestly. But I'm
Honestly,
still
this is
fine
a
with
good
his
buff.
I think it's fine. It's very minor. It's an additional 10% crit and a 10% party charge. But you know what?
It's adding 2 10% to the team.
But I think for what he is, which is a low rarity, kind of like support thing, I think it's fine.
Look, you
like
gotta at least have 50% crit up to make you not look horrible in front of Matahari.
Yeah.
Like Matahari kind of set the standard. What a sentence, by the way. A lot of people would be like surprised. Like, but Matahari
here on Game Press because why not?
Matahari really set the standard for like bronze crit buffers. Like if you're not a 50% crit buffer, yeah, get the fuck out of here. Like, it's
Actually,
I do think it's very his kit is so much designed to be on the field, use his buffs, and then die. Like, I don't know if does anyone use him for his like NP or anything?
no,
Especially considering his bonus is extra damage to 1 and 2-star enemies.
it's really funny. I always call it anti-poor people. It doesn't make any
exactly.
sense, but like
He hates poor people.
but I mean
But
he's
he
like a
himself is
pirate.
poor. Interesting.
He's like a pirate. He's trying to plunder your boot. Well, okay, I shouldn't say that. Booty as in treasure, not your
Yes.
ass. So
Just to clarify that, even though no one was thinking anything weird about it, but now he's made it weird.
okay. I'm actually, I was that actually reminded me, and I was thinking like, wait a second, did
The
they
booty reminded
like?
you?
No, I'm talking about Matahari, because Matahari, I was thinking like, wait, didn't they change her placement when she got buffed? And Matahari, she went from D to D plus.
Why?
damn,
That's
That's
so
rude.
dumb. She's so good.
that's
Man.
rude.
Game
Rude.
Press is just
Speaking
They're,
of booty,
there's something.
have you guys seen the comma figure?
My God.
Yes, but I don't think that's booty. I think that's the opposite.
You don't think that's
What?
booty?
The comic figure,
Okay.
the one with the giant badonkadonks.
No. Okay,
It's the giant everything.
Am I thinking of the wrong comic figure?
Okay, I'm just gonna send
It's
an image.
it's her final ascension. I'm not showing that
Yeah.
on stream, by the way.
Oh, I didn't see the back. I saw the frontal images of it, not the rear image. Literally not the rear image.
She is
I feel like they exaggerated it a bit. I don't know, but like,
At least it's the sides are symmetrical and not misshapen, unlike Ibuki.
all right, man.
Summer Kama's benefit is she has a symmetrical butt. Not unlike Summer Ibuki, whose butt is asymmetrical, which in fact is a huge demerit.
It's not. It's not
where?
asymmetrical in her.
Wait,
AP.
does this really get you demonetized if you pull this up? That's so funny. Because
I
it's
wouldn't
an
risk
official
it.
figure. Okay.
That looks like naked ass. Like, I mean,
It does look like naked.
No, it doesn't look like it is.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
I
I
forgot
guess
what
you're
she's
right.
wearing. Yeah, she's really not wearing anything.
Small string she's wearing is not visible on there. It's in there. It's wedged up.
It is naked. Oh my god.
Yeah. Anyways, like, I'm sure you guys
It's like showing
won't have to.
CCC melt on stream.
You guys
Like,
shouldn't have
you gotta.
that difficult of a time finding this because, like, I've seen like 4 people share it in the last couple days. So, like, yeah, just go into Discord, search by the messages of the first comma simp that comes to mind, and you're probably gonna find that.
Find the gooners in your Discord server. They'll know.
What do you mean find them? They're everywhere.
Are you saying your Discord server is entirely gooners?
Kinda.
Gooners and closet gooners.
It's closet gooning.
It's their month. It's their month. Okay, I'm gonna stop.
No, that's not what it means.
No, what? No. Wait. Oh, no. Anyways, Bart, 10%. I like that he has the 10% charge. Because, like, even though it seems really small, there's times where I'm, like, working with someone who is, like, just 10% away from that first MP.
Yeah.
So, so
It
like,
helps when
it's
your
either-
servant has a 20% battery.
No, do you know what it helps? It helps when your servant has a 40% battery.
Also, true.
Do you get it? You get it. The plan. The
but-
master plan.
okay, but the second append.
It's a 4-star. You don't have enough coins for that shit.
No one rolled on Summer. What was Summer Ushi's rate up with?
BB.
Oh, was
Was
it
it
BB?
BB?
Okay, maybe people have her. You know, it's Summer
Was it
Ushi
BB
is
or
the
Jean?
only-
I mean, okay, both BB and Jean are good though. Like Jean is arguably in a lot of ways actually. It's slightly, I don't know.
I do. Funny enough, for Summer Ushi, I did accidentally level twice because I had 2 NP5 copies,
Oh, wait,
and I
yeah,
was
it's
just
Jean,
leveling
okay.
stuff from Lotto. And I'm like, oh yeah, level this one. And this was before they added in the warning saying, "Hey, stupid, you've leveled this character up before." And I was going through one day, and I'm like, okay, Ushi here, but I thought I put Ushi in the second archive. And I checked in the second archive, and there's a level 80 Ushi
Yeah, you
in
got,
my inventory.
nice job.
A level 80 Ushi, and I'm like, oh no,
you got Ushi, then you got Tushi.
oh no, sushi.
Ushi? Are we going back to the butt stuff?
No, no more
That
butt stuff.
wasn't-
Plus, she's obsessed with butt stuff.
Anyways, hey, here's Murasaki.
No, there you
Yes.
go. More butt stuff.
No, this is boob stuff.
Don't phrase it that way. So
Once again, before we get into anything, Summer Murasaki, second ascension is the best.
Yeah, because look, this has always been my headcanon about her second ascension. Is she is pretending to have a disability so she can park in the
what the
so
fuck
she
is
can
that?
park in the disabled space.
What is the on-screen celebration?
What celebration? Oh, what's happening?
Oh, okay. It doesn't show up in the recording. Oh my
it's
god.
It's the Rio emote.
Wait, that's. Oh, okay. Is that channel points? Why is that?
No, that's bits. It costs money to do that.
Oh, okay. I was about to say, because like if it's just channel points, fuck that. I'm not gonna let people just spam emotes on my screen for.
You're like, but if they're
40 bits.
paying me
Or
for
40
it,
bits.
you made
I
Yeah, I
mean-
mean,
sense.
on second thought, like I made
You're
a
like,
dollar.
on second thought, you just made $1.20.
Yeah,
And-
I just
and,
made
you
a
know,
dollar
right there.
20.
So you know what? Be happy.
Be happy. Don't be angry, Pete. I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah.
Keep going.
Oh,
Yeah,
well,
stage 2 is the best because something's wrong with her legs in stage 3. Like, look at that. Something doesn't look right there.
What do you mean? What do you mean something's wrong with her legs in stage 3 when she literally has crutches in stage 2?
that was the joke he was making.
Oh.
No. Like, she looks unstable. Like her leg is broken.
That's why
Well,
she
you
has
know what?
crutches. Exactly. That's why she has crutches. Get it?
I
And
gotta
also,
say,
it covers up right as stapled on balloon boobs. So you know what?
I
That's why
appreciate
stage 2 is the best.
I appreciate the sprite artists because they will take designs that are over the top and make them make a bit more sense. Like Barghest, for example, looks a lot less balloony, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, I appreciate the sprite artists. I think they do a great job. Anyways, Murasaki got an NP upgrade. Unfortunately, they didn't do what they did with Ryoma and make the charge train guaranteed, but we gotta give them something.
They added anti-Earth.
Yeah, they gave her anti-Earth instead, so it's...
So now she's the strongest single target rider against Earth servants.
Wow, that's
Yeah,
so fun.
yeah,
We really
Earthcasters
need
are just-
anti.
Earthcasters are in danger.
Yeah, like Wood Woes.
Yeah, Woodwow's got Omega...
I don't know if Maeve
Totally
did that
go.
Minturn. There's like 3 people that did that Minturn. 3 servants, not 3 people. There's like 3 servants that were able to Minturn
Ozzy,
Super Wood
because
Woes.
of course.
Yeah, Ozzy, Murasaki, and I don't know if Maeve did it. I think maybe Maeve did it.
Yeah, I think I
it's a
remember I remember seeing what's his name? I can't remember his name. He's a guy that does like he's one of the more popular men turners. He sent me a friend request because he wanted to use my Murasaki.
How did I forget his name? The Korean guy.
Didn't someone spend like a year on attempts for the Woodwows?
No, that's the
Wodime fight with
Yeah.
Maeve?
Yeah,
That-
which is
yeah,
ironic because he's right here on the side. Someone just updated his page.
Wodime?
Yeah. You know what? Now that I think of it, I actually have my my friends thing open, so I could show off this. It is Airmong. That's it.
Oh, Airmong.
You forgot
yeah.
Airmong?
How did I
Yeah,
forgot
We
about
mentioned
Airmong?
him already on this stream.
on this.
I
Stream?
don't know how I forgot about him.
Yeah.
I don't remember anyone.
No, when we were
mentioning
talking about me going back in time and getting crypto and buying MP5 and servants.
Oh, you
I don't
didn't
think
say
he
it was
said his
Airmong.
name.
No, he said one of you two said like Airmong. One of you two said it.
Really?
Did you?
Was it chat?
Yeah,
Chat,
maybe someone in the
chat.
chat said it.
Chat.
yeah.
Was it chat?
Also,
Yeah,
wow,
the-
you have him on your friends list. Don't you feel special?
No, I don't have him on my friends list. I have him on my
Oh.
friend requests because
don't
if
you
I
accept
accept, because if I
He's
accept
petty.
it,
He
he's
doesn't
gonna
wanna give
remove
him
it
the minter.
immediately.
He doesn't want to give him
No,
the
no.
Minturn against.
I could actually sit here and brag about this, and like, you would think, okay, if I accepted his friend, then it's the same thing, right? No, he would clear me off immediately. What do I have that he would want?
It's Murasaki.
Well, like, maybe, but like, does he actually want that at the time that I would be accepting?
I mean, you don't. I mean, do you have any rare 120s like Fergus? Maybe Fergus. Oh no, the Fergus not on this account.
I have 120 Summer Ibuki, 120 Saber
I don't think
Ibuki,
that one's rare.
120
I don't think that one's
Murasaki,
rare either. That one's pretty
120
rare.
other Murasaki.
That one's also pretty rare.
I'm almost
Maybe-
at 120 Suzuka.
No, that one's pretty rare. I think. I don't know. She's popular though.
I don't know. But yeah, this is totally the guy, because you look and you see like NP5 on everything.
His Durga sucks.
His Durga sucks.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's complete 9s there. But yeah, you can see like the double the double Castoria here. You got a level 70, 10, 10, 10, 9, 10, 9, and then another one that's 10, 10, 10, 9, 10, 9. But that's not even it. Like, he's got a third one that's NP5 that's level 1.
Yeah, I mean that's like some of for the most dedicated TA people. There's another guy on Twitter called Aloha. He also has everything. He has like 4 Himikos or some shit. I don't know.
That's too much.
Oh, 3, not 4. I think it's 3. No, is it 2? No, it's 2. It's 70 and 1. Yeah, actually, no, you only need 2.
I'm cherry picking the question in chat that asks which Suzuka. She's 118. I either need Bond 15 or I need one more copy.
Just wait 2 months. She'll be on rated again.
True.
Yeah, I'm not gonna try and Bond 15 or like that takes like, I mean, maybe eventually, but like that takes a lot of time. Oh, I forgot Ushi goes in as well. It's a more recent.
Oh yeah, Ushi goes in. I Bond 15 Draco pretty fast though.
Why?
It's because he's just good at farming. I think but it still took. Wait, how long was it since Draco up until last year? Last year's Gouda. I Bond 15 her in Gouda. Was it like over a year? No, that was 6 months.
That was like October.
Oh, I Bond 15 her in 6 months.
You know, I don't have a lot of Bond 15s. I have Fujino, I have Melusine, I have Melt, Castoria, and that's it. I mean, I have Marianne and Charlotte, but those are just fodder garbage. That's it in the background.
I'm in a horrible situation. I have both Koyans and Castoria at Bond 15.
Oh, my Koyan is 400,000 away from Bond 15, and at that point, I guess I'm moving on to Summer Scotty.
Yeah,
Summer Scotty is.
I am moving on to Summer Scotty. Yeah.
Well, my normal Scotties are Bond 13. What are my Summer Scotties at? Hold on.
My Scotties aren't that high Bond. I think mine is like 11, 12.
My Summer Scotty is almost Bond 11. So, yeah, I'll be using Scotties. But the thing is once I get Scotty and Vitch and Castoria all Bond 15, then it doesn't matter. Then I don't feel pressured to not use them. But then again, then I start doing stuff like when I do use arts teams, I'm now using Castoria and Proto Merlin, and I'm
similar.
I have to.
I'm using Yui.
Like, I have to use like these overkill things like Melusine because she has so much looping, because I'm using Proto Merlin and she doesn't, and so she works with it when other servants won't, and so it just makes me more reliant on these crazy high loopers where instead of so what you're saying loopers. So what you're saying is they should make another arts AoE this summer. I'm gonna end it all. No, I don't. Summer Melusine is fine because I've been instead doing dumb things like using Tonal Eco and Castoria together for every node, even if it's against Riders. But that's why they're Bond 12. What am I gonna do when Tonal Eco and Castoria hit Bond 15? Kill myself. Keep using them. I still use. I'm still using. Oh no, they don't save that. I'm still using.
I'm not risking it.
Oh, you writing down the timestamp of like, go ahead and mute that,
bruh.
You said it like
replace it with this audio file.
Someone already said like someone was talking over you basically. So.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm still using Draco
with this audio file. Banana pudding. Anyway,
I might take that sound file for something else though. I don't know what else. But I could figure something out.
Oh no.
Just make it a sound routine.
What's wrong with you?
Yeah, dude,
banana bread. Nah. I love banana bread. Banana bread is amazing.
What the fuck is banana bread?
I tell you what.
It's bread made with bananas.
Dude, banana bread is goated.
Like, what do you mean? What's banana bread?
It's like zucchini bread.
Like, yeah, it's like zucchini
bread.
What
the fuck is zucchini bread?
It's bread with zucchini.
Actually, zucchini bread is very similar to banana bread. Actually, they're pretty similar.
Yes. The Asian has really weird food, but the Americans that makes everything into bread is not weird at all.
Plus, what the fuck is weird about making bread with a banana? It's like
Just
Like-
eat the banana.
Okay,
It's
but
like,
if you add,
what the
sometimes
fuck you mean
like, you
apple
make
pie?
apple cinnamon
You put-
bread or something like
you
that.
make a
and you
pie
put
with
apples
apple?
in the pie.
What?
Or apples in the bread, and like, or like, you can mix a lot of things into bread. But no, like banana bread usually has like nuts in it, and it has bananas in it, and it's a sweet bread. And
That doesn't sound too bad, to
I'm
be
slightly allergic to nuts, but I'll eat it anyway, and that's
Yeah, it's worth it.
it's worth it. Like there's potato bread. Like there's a lot of breads where you have like some other thing in there.
Potato is just bread, basically. Like, what do you mean?
Right, but no, here's the thing.
What?
Like the thing with banana breads and zucchini breads is they add a lot of moisture, so they're dense, moist breads.
Oh, so
Yeah,
they're like
they're-
pound cakes, no?
They're
Yeah.
kind of like cakes.
They're
Yeah,
like cakes.
they're-
And they
they're
usually have a lot
close
of
to-
sugar in them, like cakes.
They're like cakes. Finally, we're going back to the butt stuff.
What?
What?
It's a joke. I'm sorry. Okay, ignore me.
No,
There's a cultural divide here. I don't understand.
What cake? Cake. It means butt.
Like-
Okay, whatever. I'm not funny. I'm not funny. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, dude, I can't sit here and act like putting bananas in bread is not
It's
as
weirder
weird,
than whatever
is
you're.
weirder than eating fried crickets or whatever.
I've never
That's
eaten
weird.
fried crickets. I ate raw horse.
Yeah, I was about to say horse.
That's not better.
That's worse. You
It's-
tell me bread with banana in it is weirder
that's
than
worse.
horse.
No. Here's the thing, right? Realistically, what's the difference between eating a horse and a cow?
Yeah, like I so I
Horses
understand.
pull
I
things
understand it. Because,
Horses
like,
are a waste because they have other uses. It's like using an item that can do more
So-
than healing to heal, but you can still use it as a healing item. You know what I mean?
So I understand that like a big reason why that's frowned upon is because people like care for horses and stuff. but
yeah,
they
yeah.
don't
It's just
eat
like eating
cows.
dogs.
It's
It's,
just you-
the same thing. Yeah, it's like you
People
shouldn't eat
don't
your
raise
pet.
horses like it in a lot of societies. People don't raise horses to be eaten, but like I mean, like it or not, they're like us Americans. We eat horse pretty often too. We just
Yeah.
aren't told that. It's like
Yeah, and
like
then see
meat fillers and
Japanese
stuff.
people have uma musume, but they still eat horses.
But it's still gross. Like they're horses. They're
What are they doing to
superior
their
to
horses?
cows.
You
What
cut
are-
off their limbs and head, they're the same thing.
I
That's-
don't know
they're-
about that.
Oh, we're not talking about Uma Musume? Okay, never mind.
No, we're not talking about uma musume. Jesus, they're a couple thousand calories. Okay, like come on.
A couple thousand?
No, I don't know. I don't know how many. I mean, it's a whole horse. A whole horse.
Oh,
How much
we're getting-
calories is a whole horse? Like the
Whoa,
JoJo character.
JoJo?
Yeah,
again?
like the JoJo character, a whole horse. Anyway.
Well, I don't know. So first off, we gotta clarify which kind of calorie do we mean? Do we mean calorie the unit of energy, or calorie the other unit of energy that's like
No, the
one
K cow.
1,000th of
The
it?
K cow. 1/1000 of it. Yes, the K
Yeah.
cow.
That's definitely gonna be like if you can eat like a big hamburger that's like 2,000 calories.
Yeah.
like
How many calories?
it's gonna
is
be
a horse.
like it also depends on like do you count everything there or just the stuff that people would normally
Oh yeah,
eat?
true. Yeah,
It's
you're
like
right.
there's calorie in like bones and stuff, but you're not gonna eat bones.
Eat your bones.
I do eat, but okay. Have you had
I'm
like
sorry,
It's
Uh,
just hard to
You're like,
digest.
I eat
no,
bones.
no, have you guys had no marrow? Of course not the bone, but like have you had a soup with like
I have
like
not had
lamb
any marrow
like
in it.
like lamb like I remember a place like when I was back in Taiwan, it was near my house. They sell like lamb stew, and then they will have this like giant lamb leg inside of the stew, and then they give you like a straw and you can suck out the marrow.
When I think lamb leg, like a giant lamb leg, I just think of like soup, but they just like took this big leg of some random fucking lamb and just shoved it in there.
Yeah.
It doesn't even
Yeah.
fit. Like
It kind of doesn't. It like protrudes out of the bowl, and then like it's like a
it
hot
doesn't have
pot.
the hoof, does it?
No, it doesn't.
Good.
Of course, no. It doesn't.
Good.
It's yeah, it doesn't. So you just drink the marrow from the straw, but it's very hot, so you gotta like be a little bit careful. But yeah, it's good food.
I've
anyway.
definitely had marrow before though, because
Marrow's
I've
good.
never had it.
See, it's not that
because
weird. Honestly, I don't think it's that weird because I feel like a lot of people
like,
have marrow.
earlier this year, there was this person that gifted us with the best ribs I've ever fucking had. They were like these grilled ribs, and they were so insanely tender that I definitely ate a couple bones without realizing it. Because like the bones were like almost floppy with how tender it was, and that doesn't sound
that sounds good.
That sounds weird, but it's really good.
Yeah, that sounds good. No, I understand what you're talking about, man.
Yeah, it's a shame that was not a great time for other reasons, but but yeah.
Okay, my bad.
Oh, that's fine. I was just talking about like this based food some person made. Anyways, so we got pretty off topic.
A little.
So speaking of Tawara Touta, he got a buff too. This is another servant I have grailed. I have him.
Oh.
This is him. I have him 100 on my GP account, and I have him 80 on my NA account. But I don't use him on NA. But maybe I'll start using him now that I got his buff. Anyways, so what he got, he had a third skill, which was just like 2k max HP every 5 turns for the entire party, which it's like okay. Like it's it's a little.
It's a heal.
Yeah, it's just a better heal generally. And the rest was like decent. So like he had his own buster buff for his damage with a little heal of its own. Then he had protection from arrows, even if it's an inferior version. It's still pretty nice to have for durability's sake. And then like you also have this on top of that. So like he was decently tanky, I'd say.
Mm-hmm.
But they buffed it, so now it gives the team 10% charge, and also 20% buster for 3 turns. So now he himself
That's
has
the important
50%
thing.
buster.
The important thing is the buster.
Yeah, it's just a pretty well-rounded skill now. So another 10% charge buff. It's kind of funny. But yeah, pretty simple. It helps him in situations where you're using more than 1 DPS, and
I wish they'd up to his max HP to like 3,000.
I'd have been down for that, but I still feel like this is fun. It's like it helps his damage a bit. Like 3 turns of anti-demonic special attack, 50%, and then 3 turns of 50% buster. Like, he's got pretty good card damage, even though he's an archer with a not particularly great attack. Actually, this is better than... I remember someone saying he had bad attack stat. Like, that's actually pretty decent. It's just, like, minus 5% because he's an archer, which kind of sucks. But that's fine. Yeah, he's... I already felt like he was a bit better than Kid Gilles. I feel like this made him a bit better than the better he already was. Just a simple buff. I did a setup with him and Archer Mary. Not Archer Mary, Archer Anne. Mary barely shows up there. And it turned out like perfectly. Like there were 2 separate situations where she was 10% away from NPing. It's just peak. I loved that video. Anyways, you guys probably don't have much to say about this, do you?
I mean, I'm not familiar.
I
with him enough. I apologize.
Touta, my involvement with Touta begins and ends with that one quest, that one fight where it's easier to solo him with a lancer than to take a team. The one like quest from like the lotto events.
That's supposed to be.
Yeah, the first one. Yeah, I sold it with Liz.
Yeah, and had her do like 1,000,000 damage because of
Yeah,
the
it's harder to
EMP
take
damage.
a party into that fight than it is to go in solo.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Just due to how
Especially-
it's designed.
especially since people like if you're using Castoria, for example, you remove your debuffs, and that's actually not a great thing entirely in that fight because that's how you get HP buffs, which is how you just don't die there.
Yeah.
It's like
I really think like there's still how do I put this? There's still like some better quality in terms of challenge quest like design in these kinds of events. That's why I enjoy them so much. I really hope they make more of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that's unrelated, but
yeah, I hope that's what they do with the next Lotto. The next if they make it more of a like a Morgan Fest type event.
When are we thinking we're gonna get a Lotto next? We didn't get one in the middle of the year, did we?
no, we did not.
We're in
we
the
didn't.
middle of the year.
Yeah, exactly. Like right now, last year was Ilia Fest, so we didn't get our we didn't get our designated Lotto event.
Yeah.
I do have a theory. I think that they're gonna pull it again. I've noticed every year right before anniversary, there's an event with a new servant. It was Bakken 2 years ago. It was Medusa Saber last year. They're gonna do it again. The second Lilum Harley rerun ends, we're going into another event with a new servant.
You know what's the worst thing that could happen to me?
What?
Typhon.
Typhon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, if it's Typhon. The
Yeah.
worst thing that could happen to me is if it's Causer Drop.
I mean,
Dude, honestly, Typhon would be the worst thing that could happen to most people's phones. Like if they incorporate that thing into her NP animation.
I don't think they will. Like,
be cool.
yeah, it would be cool. She has a really cool design, like the dragon.
He's
yeah.
nuts. He walked into it. You just want to see Batman? Look, he's an anniversary type thing. They're not going to just add him to a random event,
Yeah,
right?
I agree.
Maybe. I can
But
see
who
him
knows?
being- I feel like he's more of a New Year's type servant.
I guess, yeah.
Oh, what?
People,
A New
New
Year's.
Year's. People really want him to be White Day.
Oh, that's just an easy assumption because he's male.
Yeah. Every man. Oh my God, White Day.
I mean,
It's
To be
his
fair-
month.
to be fair, they did
I'm
that.
gonna stop making that joke.
Did that same thing with Takasugi. Okay, they waited quite a while to add him, and he was like the most wanted.
Was it 1 year or 2 years for
NPC.
Takasugi?
It was a
2
year and
years.
a half.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, because it was. Yeah,
well,
Yeah.
it's been a year and a half since what's his name?
Cam.
Kamazatz was put in the game, so it's time. It's his time. It's his month.
It's just...
Well, enough of men. Let us talk about a boy. Got Voyager.
Oh.
This was not his most recent buff. He's actually been buffed twice since where
Trash.
NA is right now. Excuse you?
It's called
what?
trash.
Oh, I may have called him trash. Yeah.
Oh,
I mean, post buff,
Damn.
he's really good. Post
yeah,
MP upgrade.
it's
Look,
because he's a little
I-
boy, right?
I hate Shotas.
Yeah,
I can't
course you
stand
would.
Shotas.
of course you would.
I'm not even gonna make that joke.
Yeah, let's not make the joke because of last.
okay.
Let's not dwell on my hatred of Shotas.
Yeah.
Yeah. So his more recent upgrade, which I think he got, wasn't it with CBC? Was his
think
NP
so.
upgrade,
Yeah.
which is like it increased the damage. It didn't do anything else other than also 10% more per living human. But like, I mean, NP upgrade really just rounded out what he needed, which was just more baseline damage.
Wait, was this
but
the buff he got here? Or what's the buff that
No.
he got from this anniversary?
no, the
The
one for
quick
this
up,
anniversary.
targetable quick up.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
gets 30% targetable quick, which is actually pretty decent. I'm gonna be honest, he's actually, this is more of a quick support than Alex.
Well,
True.
yes,
yes,
but
quick down
he's a
as well.
5-star.
Yeah, but again, like, he's more of a quick support than Alex.
Doesn't have buff removal.
Yeah, but he's got like targetable absorb and then 3-turn quick, 3-turn crit, 3-turn crit resist. And he's got a little star bomb, and then also if he NPs, then you get 20% charge. So like he's got some supportive effects. And he has
Oh,
stars
yeah,
per
no, like
turn.
that is what he slots into, is kind of like a secondary DPS supportive
Oh,
thing.
Right, and
Which
then
is not
also
a problem.
he also has 20% quick resist down against one enemy.
Yeah.
But yeah, what this means is now he goes from 20% quick against AoE and 40% against one to 50% AoE and 70% against one. So this buff boosts his refund a bit, which is kind of fun. It's kind of funny because his base refund actually isn't really that good. A lot of it comes from his NP
Charge
having a
effect.
flat 20%.
Yep.
But yeah, it helps his damage. It helps his refund. It's a pretty decent buff. It's just not the full package that we need so far.
Yeah, I think he's fine where he is now, where he's had his second buff.
Yeah, for sure.
I don't think he needs any more changes.
Yeah. Yep.
Yep.
Yippity yip. Anything
no
else to
negatives
say
on
about him? Like, I mean,
No, I mean he's
The MP
mostly
upgrade
used for
really is
supporting-
the.
He's mostly used to support living humans based on his MP. This second skill did not see him get much usage.
Yeah, I mean, he became a really good multi-core farmer now because of that buff.
Yeah.
This first buff actually kind of does nothing for him. It's good to have, but it doesn't help him the way his NP did.
it's like a little bit more damage. It's, but yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
just think
I
of it
mean,
as a self-steroid.
Generally, NP upgrades are the best type of upgrade you can have.
Yep.
Because like you
Of
use
course.
this skill, like you buff this skill, okay, 3 turns out of 6, it's gonna be doing something. But then the NP, like if you upgrade the NP, even if you do nothing else to it other than increase the damage, that's gonna benefit you every time you use the NP, which could be every other turn, every turn. Yeah.
Only on supports is sometimes an MP upgraded not needed and you want to scale.
But then you look at the ones that they usually do, and you got like Rhinus's NP upgrade, which is crazy. Constantine has a really good NP upgrade.
Constantine didn't count before. Constantine before was a piece of trash.
Yeah, which is exactly why his NP upgrade was really good.
Right, he wasn't a support. He was just garbage.
I mean, he was
Now
kind
he's
of a support.
Now
Like,
he's a
it's kinda-
support.
He was.
He's like a weird
support.
solo servant.
Like he's a support that could also like do his own crits. But he sort of a sub DPS. That's what people like to call them.
I guess, yeah.
It's like, I mean, he could prevent the team from dying for a turn, and then he also had like Buster and attack.
Yeah, defensive
turn.
support is still support, Rio. It's
Oh.
like tanking.
I don't understand. What do you mean surviving?
It's like it's
I
like
don't
tanking. It rhymes with cranking.
See,
I
Ryou
don't
is
understand.
a character
I
that
only
just like
understand the
is a
depth of
person
my
that
teammates.
likes dying for some reason.
I in every game will kill my teammates. You should watch me play Final Fantasy 14. I will murder my team
Well,
intentionally.
well, I was considering asking to play some Helldivers at some point in time, but never mind.
Oh no. I wouldn't team kill on Helldivers. That's a see when there's consequences.
When there's consequences, I don't do the dumb
There's
thing.
no
So
consequences.
why do you
to
do it at
killing-
all?
Is because when I'm doing it in Final Fantasy 14, there are 0 consequences to me murdering my teammates because I know it's TPO. I do it when it's appropriate.
It's called strategic
Is it
sacrificing.
appropriate
Exactly.
to betray your team?
Look, it's not betraying my team if they expect me to do it. See, with my team, it becomes a game of they know I'm going to try to kill them, and the fun part is they need to figure out when I'm going to do it and prevent me from doing it.
Yeah, nice like boss fight from your teammate. It's really funny.
Yeah, no, they gotta read me. They gotta figure out because they have tools they can use to prevent me from killing them. Look,
Why are you
they
doing
have what?
Why are you doing this?
Why am I doing it?
Yes.
Because it's funny.
Does it benefit you? Oh.
No. Let me look you a clip.
I don't understand Final Fantasy.
Ryou was the type of person to place the Symmetra teleporter at the edge of the cliff. Back when you could do that.
Bro.
I mean, you still can technically, but it's a lot harder to get anyone with it. Because they can see where the teleporter is.
Look, if you want to see what my hobby is, it's quite literally
It's betraying your friends.
it's this. It's quite literally killing my teammates when they least expect it. It's funny because like when you're doing content where it's not serious and you're not like you're gonna win anyway, a death doesn't really matter, and sometimes it's fun just to pull a funny prank.
Why?
And kill your teammates.
Why are you doing this?
No, I'm the type of person to rescue and do a large. But that's exactly what I did in the video. I linked him. We were at the boss. The boss was at 3% left. Fino started to use LB3. I ran to the edge, jumped off, and pulled him with me. Took him out. It's like that's the thing. It's like I denied him his LB3, and I got the moral victory of killing him.
The moral victory?
Yeah.
Man, that's hilarious.
I'm in the right for murdering my teammates.
So anyways, talking about moral victory, here's Gilles.
Ugh.
It's a pretty good buff that combos with Koyan Dark.
Yeah. So he's always been someone who's been trashed on for many reasons. The relevant one being gameplay. But eventually they buffed his second skill, which is the first buff that he got. It was Imaginary Scramble, so it's been like a year and a half, I think. Which was just 20% arts resist down, 20% buster resist down for 3 turns, which like helped his damage. He had nothing to help his damage before. And also 1 turn of NP damage down. I don't know why this isn't 3 turns. I would have preferred 3 turns. But they buffed his NP this time around, and it went from 20% attack down for 3 turns to 20% attack down for 3 turns, 20% defense down for 3 turns, and then also just a flat 30 charge to all foreigner allies. Which is weird, but
that's very much a flavor buff. It's really not a practical buff, but it fits with the character.
Yeah, because like, I mean, just the generic NP buff, like you get defense down and then you get the damage increase. That means like he does more damage, and that was one of his biggest problems. His NP just wasn't worth using generally. Although the attack down, I will admit, the attack down is quite nice, because generally when you look at a spammable spammable asterisk, an NP that you can use multiple times that applies attack down as well as does damage. The norm is 10%. Like you got Finn, you got Emiya, you got Paracelsus. Like all of these servants apply 10% attack down, whereas Gilles applies 20%. So like it starts stacking a bit better if you're using like other servants that have defense buffs, like Chengong, or Waver, or Mash, or Hans. There's a decent amount of options. When it comes to foreigner allies, there's a couple that make sense to use with him. You kind of have to force yourself because like you don't immediately think of these servants. Like I think he's I think with Korean Dark, it makes a little bit of sense because he does have like the defense down, and
Yeah.
he has the Buster and Arts resist down. So her having the Buster Arts deck makes sense. Then Van Gogh, I actually feel kind of makes some sense with him since he can help charge her, and then she can like boost the entire team's damage and stuff like that. But that's aside
If
from
you want to
that,
force him, basically.
yeah,
Yeah.
like if you have him grailed, he is
Yeah,
actually
yeah,
kind of
yeah.
legit with Van Gogh.
Yeah.
And then I guess I haven't thought about it until now, but I guess with Nocnaria there's a little bit of usefulness.
Oh yeah, Nocnaria is a foreigner.
Because she can charge him, and then
Mm-hmm.
he can charge her. So
Yeah.
I guess
Yeah,
you could.
Nocnaria is just similar to Koyan Dark in this sense, kind of. Right?
I guess you could
in terms
use
of
them
the
both
AoE.
together.
Yeah.
Huh. That's an idea.
Hmm.
Yeah, it's one of those things where it's like they buffed him, but like, yeah, you're still just not gonna see him. Like, it's just one of those unfortunate things of like,
It's just another one of those buffs that's for the fans of the server.
Yeah,
it's
fans of
he's,
that
It's because
character.
he's a low star. Like he was a bad low star, so like they made him like okay. As far as 3-star standards go, so now you can use him if you like him, but you're probably not gonna pick him over Babbage. And then like I guess there's also Kucaster that's comparable, but yeah, it's welcome. I say this because shit, I put it all down. Accident. It wasn't by accident. It was intentional, but it was an attempt that did not matter.
Yeah,
but,
that's him.
Yeah, this is him. The same account I have Fergus on. I have him.
Oh no!
At 100. Yeah,
Why
that's
are
part
you
of the
like
reason
this?
I made this account.
Why are you like this?
Because it's funny.
Do you know who also
No.
grilled him? Kitashan.
Why are they like this?
Kitashan stole your joke.
I don't know. I don't know why he did it. I did it because I expected him eventually to get a buff that I think would be pretty cool for content.
I'm pretty sure he did it as a
Why
joke.
haven't you finished as a pen skill if you started it?
Well, because the thing is, all three of his appends are dog shit, dude. like
Charge is charge.
I mean, yeah, the charge is charge, but then you look at like extra attack. He has nothing to boost his extra attack. It's like he's not a card damage servant. And then you know what his third append is?
That's foreign.
Warner?
Yes, anti-foreigner, which is like so bad. It's like, why would you ever use that on a 3-star? Not on
For
a 3-star,
irony.
an AoE.
You ironically fight foreigners with him.
Yes, all of those individual forwarders that have high HP. I'm gonna do like 20,000 instead of 17,000.
You can grail him to 120, give him gold foes, unlock his class score, and then maybe, just maybe, he'll do a little bit of damage.
Damn. Maybe finally. He'll do a little bit of damage.
I actually have found myself to enjoy using double Gilles. Like they complement each other well because like that way you've got 2 terrors that can happen, and then they both debuff a lot, and then you can actually get notable damage reduction as a result of that. And it's even more incentivized on that account because you know the person that has like the 120 Gilles, who's like a big fan of Gilles, and he like 120'd him instantly. Like he wailed on Story of all things just to be able to get his coins.
Ew.
Yeah. Yeah, he is on that friends list because
Ooh, wow.
because
I mean, he wants to collect all grilled Gilles, I assume.
well, yeah, basically, he has a stipulation where like he'll add you to his friends list as long as you have a grailed like level 100 or more of either of the Gilles. So so he's just he's been sitting on that friends list.
Huh.
Yeah, he is a huge whale, by the way. It's like he's got a weird account. Like I don't know why, but he has a level 70 Saber Gilles that's got 2k foes. Like,
What?
I don't know why.
Does he have a level 120 with 2k foes?
Maybe. He's not on the support list if he does.
Maybe
At
he's
least
just
last I
flexing.
checked.
He's like
Yeah.
that guy who has like one level of Lady Avalon of each level or something.
Yeah,
Oh,
every
yeah.
5 levels. Yeah.
Every 5, yeah, not every one level. Yeah.
Yeah. Or maybe like one, you know that person, that Rhinus person, who just like they don't have like the individual level thing. It's just like every time Rhinus gets a banner, they roll like 50 of them.
It's the ritual. It's the Rhinus ritual.
Yeah, I first saw that with like an Ilya person, where they rode like a million Ilyas.
A million.
Ugh.
Yeah.
It's in the name. The
Amelia.
name is in the
No, that's a fucking Guilty Gear character. Never mind. He
What?
hates Guilty Gear.
I do hate Guilty Gear.
Damn.
But I don't hate Guilty Gear. I'm just apathetic towards it. I don't care about Guilty Gear, and I hate how it shows up so often on my Twitter that I've blocked the words Guilty Gear.
Guilty
It's
Gear
on my
when
restricted words
innocent
list
cog
with
walks
such
in.
things as slurs and Paper Mario.
What? Paper Mario? What the fuck's
Yeah,
wrong
Paper
with
Mario was also showing up on my timeline too much, and I don't care about Paper Mario, so I just blocked the
Damn.
term Paper Mario.
Damn, dude. Does that mean you blocked Mario as well?
No, just Paper Mario. I have
Oh.
zero interest in playing a Paper Mario game.
Why? It's a
Like
good
they
game.
just do not appeal to me.
Do you not like like turn-based RPGs?
I'm fine with turn-based. I'm playing Fate Grand Order, Otto.
Yeah,
you think?
exactly.
But I don't care about Paper Mario. I don't really like most Nintendo games. I kind of dislike Nintendo as a company. And I
I
don't
mean,
Oh.
their ideology and the games they make. I don't like dealing with them. I'll play Pokemon because
Dude.
I'm part of the problem.
Dude, then
But I try to avoid engaging with Nintendo that much.
just emulate. You'll be doing a disservice to them.
But I don't. I also just don't want to play Paper Mario.
But
Because
that's
Nintendo's
wrong.
Nintendo ever since Miyamoto went and was like, no, we need to remove story from Super Mario, and then ruin Super Mario Galaxy 2 by like removing story. I'm like, oh, so they just don't care, and so if you don't care, then I don't care. And I know
Which
it's a
is
remake
why
from a
you
game
should
before
play
then,
it.
but like I'm
Which is
not
why
going
you
to
should
do it.
play
I'm not going to
Paper
participate
Mario
in that.
because Paper Mario has good story. At least the first
it-
couple games do. Like first 3 games. I don't know about the first game. I've never played the first one, but the second 2 are really good.
Look, I'm just not gonna play Paper. It's on my list of banned words as well as some slurs, because I kept seeing certain things come up. It's just words that people were using in their tweets, like not like offensively, but you know, like sometimes people say slurs, but they're not using it in the way of a slur. But I don't want to see that on my timeline. And, you know,
Oh.
like the N word and stuff like that. I don't want to see that. Like they're not using it like, you know, in the negative way. But I don't want to see that on my timeline. I just don't. I'm not comfortable with that, and so I just
Gotcha.
blocked it. But I did, and I'm like, I'm not even typing this. So I had when I had one up, I copy and paste it because like I can't even type it. it's like I if I'm ever
You
blocking
physically
swear,
cannot.
if I'm
type
ever
it.
blocking swear words, I can't type it out because I've never said swear words, and I can't even
So-
bring myself to type
so
them.
do you
so I
just,
have to
like,
copy and paste them.
So do you just like Google inward? Is
No,
that
it
what
was.
you do?
Yeah, I was like, it came up in a tweet, and I'm like, oh, I'm really tired of seeing that. So I copied it, and I then went to my blocked words and pasted it, and then I copied something else to get it out of my clipboard.
That's so funny.
and
That
then-
is
Because
that
I'm
is
like, if
and
it's in
then
my
you
clipboard,
pasted
I'm
it
actually
into
gonna
a
be in like
tweet by
Discord
accident.
and fall asleep on Control V, and it's gonna paste it 20 times.
that is
and send.
actually so funny.
No, I mean, look, I just can't. I can't do it. I'm too nice of a person to ever swear or say those things or even type them out. I'm too kind.
Too kind.
Yeah.
Sure.
Too kind verbally, but like emotionally, I will destroy you and kill you in a video game.
That's probably fine, honestly.
So I know a couple people in chat have played Thousand Year Door. I had this thought recently. Like, I'm sure you two will not understand this, but Paper Mario Thousand Year Door is an Indiana Jones movie, but with Paper Mario. Just think about it. Just think about the plot. It makes so much fucking sense. That's exactly what it is. Anyways. So...
Is the 1,000-Year Door the Lost Ark?
Yeah, kind of, something like that. Anyways, got Lancelot next. Saber Lancelot. So his was a pretty simple buff. Like, he's always been more of a crit servant, because he's got, like, charge with the Star Bomb, then he's got absorb for 3 turns, like the strongest absorb in the game, for some reason. And then he's got a 3-turn crit buff with stars per turn. So yeah, he's always been a crit person. And his NP was kind of like weird because it didn't really do much damage. It was just a 30% arts buff before damage. The overcharge was 1,000 more damage per hit. Which, I'm gonna be honest, I feel like this debuff gets a bit of hate because it's, in a lot of ways, it's just a better dot. Because, like if you're gonna choose between 1,000 curse or 1,000 damage taken, like, you're getting, like, 3...
You're doing it every time you attack him, basically.
Yeah, but
getting, like, 3
at
of them.
most, it's like 3,000 extra damage that turn. It's still kind of irrelevant. And I think the only two that apply it are Melusine and Lancelot.
Okay.
I don't even
Does
think it
anyone else
applies to
apply it?
Melusine.
Okay, but
Oh, you mean whoever
but
does
think
it,
of
yeah.
it. Like, if you attack 10 times in 5 turns, that's 10,000 more damage across those 5 turns.
Well, I
So
know.
if you
I know
apply it twice,
it's stacks and built up.
if you apply
It's
it
not that
twice,
bad, yeah. Yeah.
like,
Yeah, it's not
it
that
adds
bad,
up.
but it's kind of irrelevant. It's kind of like the haha funny effect. You know, like we want to have a secondary effect, but we really don't want to give them a strong secondary effect.
Oh,
I mean, like,
and, by the way, they actually doubled it. So,
yeah, they
Yeah.
are.
so 2,000 is actually pretty, like, it's notable, I'd say.
It's like a damage plus that is stackable, right? So like it eventually becomes a little bit noticeable because every time you attack a procs, and then if you stack the MP, the next time you attack with a card, every attack gives 4,000 more damage.
Well, if you
So,
do
like-
have those quests where they take no damage and you're meant to use dots, he can just like
yeah,
arts loop and just slowly kill
that
them.
that too, but like I don't know. I understand what Otto's saying. It's basically exactly like the argument of like, is dot really ignorable damage? Like, is it actually like sometimes it's not really it's not really like completely ignorable damage, right? Like it stacks up kind of.
Speaking
and,
about
yeah.
ignorable damage, he also ignores defense buffs with this. And that was like the main change with this. That, and then like, okay, and it's a bit more NP damage. So it's like, it's a decent NP now. Like, it's something you might actually use every now and then. Like, I mean, you were going to use it before. It's just like, you actually have an incentive to try an NP more often. It's like, he'll actually do a decent amount of damage. Also, question, I can't remember, did they take away the chainsaw in his NP? Because before his animation update, his Erendite made a chainsaw sound effect, and I always found that really funny.
I don't think they took it away.
Go to the video and see if it shows it.
Oh yeah, I forgot this is here.
I think they kept it. I could be wrong.
最果てに至れ限界を超える彼方の王よこの光をご覧あれアロンダイト
Yep, it's still a chainsaw.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's part of his character. He's Chainsaw Man.
I do think though that he is as far because like his whole thing is arts crits, and I just think as an arts crits he doesn't do enough to be like because like arts crits are the weakest crits, of course, and I don't think he does enough to really.
I mean, he doesn't have to do arts crits. He's just crits.
Yeah,
No,
that's
right.
that's
but,
what
like,
I.
his whole kit is crits. Like there's no good supports in arts for crits.
I guess, yeah.
So this is what I've been saying for a while. He'd be better as a Buster Saber. Like if his NP was Buster, it would make more sense because he synergizes better with Buster supports because they focus more so on crits. That means he gets the Buster starting bonus more often, and he'd also have a Buster buff on his NP. So it's a little misplaced, I suppose.
I mean, before he got his MP upgrade, I mean, Saber Hokusai was always better than him.
I don't know. Like, I feel like he was better at critting because she had to ramp up to be able to crit. These days, though, I do kind of feel like she is a bit stronger just because, like, the NP is better.
Yeah, I'd rather spam MP, kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just there's, like, a bunch of things wrong with Saber Hokusai's design, and I don't like that. It's like,
You don't like Saber Hokusai?
I don't like
not
her
that I
gameplay.
don't
Yeah.
like her. It's just I don't like I don't like her second skill because like it's 7-turn cooldown, 3-turn guts, and then like the only other effect is an absorb, and then like you got her third skill, which is kind of neat in concept, but I always find it hard to work with because it's like, okay, you crit and then your crits start doing more damage, but then you're done with the crits and now you can't make.
I believe the
use of
crit
their
damage
buffs.
applies before your crits actually do damage.
It does. It's like melt, but like
But
I don't know.
She's
She's a bit annoying.
a little bit harder to get to crit, and granted, like we don't live in the same age anymore. Like that was years ago that I was thinking that, but
I think with
it's like, I
Mighty
feel like
Chains,
Fuji
it's not
feel
as much of an issue with her. But I mean, who am I to say? I have her grailed. Like I may be biased.
yeah.
She has
It's just-
existence outside the domain, right?
She
Yeah.
does not.
What?
Oh,
Unfortunately, her Saber form does not have existence outside the domain, which
Damn,
is
no.
unfortunate.
Oh, yikes.
They should buff her and add existence outside the domain.
They'll never
Give
do
her an
that.
interlude that buffs one of her skills and adds
Okay.
the passive existence
No,
outside the domain.
no, that's a horrible idea. Do you know why? Because that gives a chance for them to do the same for Kukulkan.
They're never gonna do it for Cuckoo.
If it look, I'm telling you, I'm quitting TAs if they give Kukulkan the existence outside them. I'm not joking.
They would never do that.
the old man mad about art manji. It's a weird
Yeah.
nickname.
Well, his other one is Dragon Crested Octopus.
Crested, not crusted.
I said crusted.
sounds funny.
I didn't say crusted.
It sounded
heard
like
crusted.
you might have said.
It's your crusty hearing.
Oh.
A skill that gives existence outside the domain for 5 turns. Good idea. You know that would work.
No,
Yeah.
I don't want that. That just removes the whole.
For Summer Hokusai, I think it'd be fine.
Oh, for Summer Hooks, never mind. Okay.
Not for Cuckoo.
I thought it's like it give us support
No.
to like.
That's such a
No, I was like, please no.
Such a
Oh, they
weird
buff
thing
Go to
have.
give Go that skill. Her third buff Go's third skill. So when targeted, it gives existence outside the domain.
No, that removes all of the that
That
removes.
just makes Go an insanely valuable character. That
Okay,
Yep.
so the couple problems that killed like okay, Himiko is completely dead. Every foreigners are just completely loses all their edge. Like as a class, right? Like I don't know.
Oh no, it's a bad idea. It's a
It's a
funny
horrible
thing
idea.
to say, but it's a terrible idea.
It
Then
is
again,
a
I
terrible
also
idea.
said it would be a bad idea for them to give Scathach 3 turns of her buff like a week or two ago, and look where we are now.
Look,
So
it's
maybe,
not as
maybe
bad
whatever
as-
I say is a
it
bad
is-
idea, they implement.
It is not as bad as an idea. Okay.
They're listening to us. They're listening to us.
That's horrible. That means we're gonna get an AoE art this summer.
Hey, just saying a Shiba NP upgrade is a terrible idea.
True, you shouldn't do Summer Shiba.
Yeah. Anyways,
Or manipulating the timelines.
yeah, we got one last servant. One last servant who kind of had a bit of a wet fart of an upgrade. It's
Oh.
just like
I
mean, like,
mean,
it's okay.
What's wrong with it?
It's okay for farming.
It's extremely boring.
It is.
Because like it used to be just pure damage, 2 hits, AoE Buster NP, 5 turns of 10% defense down. They upgrade it, now it's 20% defense down for 5 turns.
And increased damage.
Well, yeah, but like you could add a couple other things to be interesting. Like imagine if they did something like also give an attack buff to a certain like attribute, or not attribute, a certain
Look, Bunyan is a
alignment,
very
like,
simple
trait.
and a straightforward servant. Doesn't need weird attributes.
but
Her
she-
purpose is that she's a low rarity, quick to use AoE berserker that kills things, kind of.
That's American.
Yeah.
She's
Also-
Canadian.
Also, I feel
Oh.
like she's actually one of those servants that would have preferred a skill upgrade over an NP upgrade, because like
Yeah,
it's a bit
she would be a
hard-
great bronze buster support. Yeah.
Oh yeah, no. If
it's
her skills were
kinda-
upgraded, that'd be better. Because I
it's
don't
like,
use her MP. Use her for her skills.
like you're not gonna get more than 1 NP. So if you did something where she gives like a little bit of attack or something for the team, then it's basically the same thing as far as it goes with her, but it's better for just the team.
Mm-hmm.
It's like it's not a bad upgrade. It's just a very boring one.
Yep.
And I just don't feel like it affected her that much. I mean,
I mean,
it's,
I mean,
it's
you
good
know
for
how
the
every
speed
character,
farmers.
you know how every character has a theme. Like Melusine's theme is just having a battery that is over 80%, right? Like, or having the ability to farm 1-on-1. Tamamo's thing is actually, I lied. Tamamo doesn't have cooldown reduction all the time. I guess Coin Sky a little bit, but like, and Paul Bunyan's thing is just being boring. Like, look at Super
Actually-
Bunyan.
Actually, Tamamo's thing isn't cooldown reduction; it's charge drain.
Oh no, Coin Dark doesn't have it.
Yeah, Corian Dark doesn't have it, and then also Tama Lancer
Well,
has the
charge
opposite of it.
manipulation.
Reverse
Yes, charge
charging.
manipulation is a better way to phrase it.
Yeah, something like that. But like, I mean, Corian Dark isn't Tamamo.
Yeah, but Koyan Light isn't Tamamo either.
Did I say she was?
Yeah, so if we look at the Tomos, they all
Yeah, but
three
Koyan
have...
Light has charge drain and cooldown reduction. It's just
Yeah, that
reversed.
Doesn't mean she's Tamamo.
You're right.
Yeah, you don't like Tomo, you like Vitch.
Yes, I do like Vitch more than Tamamo.
Fake Tomomo
Damn.
fan.
I am in fact a fake Tamamo fan. Yes,
He's a fan of the fake one.
I am the fan of the fake one. I like the fake one. What's wrong? The fake. Look, there's
Sometimes the fake can surpass
Look,
the real.
yeah, exactly. I was gonna say that. If there's anything that fate teaches me, sometimes the fake can surpass the original.
Yeah, but that's it on all of those buffs. Like, I mean, after last campaign, where like the very last one was, I think it was Gawain getting an upgrade, like an NP upgrade, and his NP upgrade was It had a couple effects, and it was like really good effects. It's just like ending on like 10% more defense sound. It's just lame.
Right.
Mhm.
Yeah, the buffs from last year in JP, I think, you know, you got Saber Alter, which was a good one, Ryko, which was fine. Hans was absolutely useless. And then like those were the main ones that I remember. Even Hans was so bad. Hans was so pointless.
I don't
I
think it was
it's
bad.
not
It was just
horrible.
pointless.
It's pointless.
Ah.
It's
like
playing a game of alignments, and like it has too many different effects. Like it's just more.
I mean, none of them are bad, unless of course you're I think you're evil and a support, because then you're like you get NP damage, I believe. But then to be fair, like when I think evil support, I think Domon, I think Oberon, and I think Koyanskaya, which have damaging NPs. Whatever. It's just like not. It doesn't really affect how he's played. It doesn't make him more valuable of a pick. It's just like, okay, it's a little bit more crit damage, and then like maybe a little more crit damage or star gen or whatever.
I mean, I also stand by that. Anderson was one of the early game trap servants that people told people to grail, but is not actually worth it.
Grail?
Yeah, a lot of people early on told new players to grail Hans because he's
because
a meta
they're
support.
they're just like grail him for the HP boost.
Yeah, which
I
isn't
could understand
like
one grail, but
no, people were telling him to grail him, and there's a lot of people who grailed and they fell for it.
Yeah,
It's just like the
grail to
people who,
gold.
you know, it's like him and Ku. My dislike for him and Ku are people is people saying that they're more general purpose than they are. I'm perfectly fine with people liking servants and grailing them, but when they start spreading stuff like they're, you know, their meta or like, you know, this will carry you, I think that's in poor taste.
Yeah.
And the people you're thinking I'm talking about are not the people. Never said that. It was other people who said it, not the people you guys are thinking about.
Yeah, it's not the content creators.
The content creators never said this, and the ones especially known for these servants never said this about them. It is people elsewhere that said this. So this is not me dumping on them, by the way, because they never said this. They can like those servants, as I said, but they're not going around telling people they should grail them and that they're meta. Whereas back when I first started playing, people did. People were saying, "Oh, Ku's a great grail target. Hans is someone you should grail, you know, to help with survivability and stuff like that." And I was like, "That sounds dumb. I'm not going to do that."
To be fair, back then there weren't as many support options.
Yeah, but
he was the most accessible support option, and like I guess
I've always been the opinion of
him, though.
Never grail someone just because they are meta. Grail them because you like them, even if they're terrible, like say Shonagon.
He can function without grails. Like he gets tanky enough.
Yeah.
If you play him correctly, that is my thing with that argument, right? Because if you just play him correctly, you stack enough defense up, he no longer dies from like stray hits, which is what people are doing it for.
Yeah.
So
I mean, he doesn't die from stray hits if you know how to like prevent stray hits.
Yeah, and also he doesn't die from stray hits if you have mash.
Yeah. Have you guys seen that Hans document before?
No.
What?
It gets shared around a lot in the FGO subreddit Discord server.
Yeah, I don't go there.
It's basically a hit piece on Hans.
You know, maybe it's not a bad thing.
I have a feeling that Ryou actually might agree with it a bit more. It's just like a lot of it is, it's just saying that he is not a good investment at all for new players. I don't.
You know, I might have seen this. He definitely didn't start from the Reddit thing. I believe I've seen that before. 'Cause, yeah,
Well,
I remember seeing once a thing talking about how Hans is not a good investment.
Well,
I grilled Miu
I'm pretty
because
sure
I grilled Miu because I liked her, and I you know, I like Miu, and I was new, and I thought she was a cool support, but the Grails didn't do anything. That was me showing I liked her. But now it's a mark of shame, and now I want to hide that and pretend it didn't happen.
Yeah,
I like Prisma Ilia. What's wrong with liking Prisma Ilia?
Oh, you gotta stop here, bro.
No, I'm not gonna back down on this. You can't.
It's a show.
Shame me away from
It's a show about children kissing, Ria.
No, they're kissing. They're not kissing him.
Well, yeah, children kissing each other. I guess that's fine.
Look,
What?
Prisma Ilia
The way
is
you
one of the
phrase it
first
made it
Fate
sound like
spin-offs,
yeah.
and you know comes from very early on in Fate. And it's long running, and it's perfectly fine to like Prisma Ilia. There's nothing weird or wrong about it as a Fate fan. Read the visual novel, use secondaries. I have the high ground here. I read the book.
All right, man. But yeah, like that. I mean, a link to that document. I'm pretty sure that's pinned in their help channel in the.
I mean, okay.
Subreddit Discord.
FGO hot takes again, right?
Mhm.
I don't think you need to specifically invest in anything as a new player, because quote unquote new player is like, what are you looking for a new player? Beating the main story. So what do you need to beat a main story? You just follow someone with a really powerful, like 120 DPS, like.
But see, like part of the thing about that is, how are you going to support that servant?
You don't need to.
Free waiver.
No, you don't need to support that servant.
Yeah, but
I beat part 1 with 120 Draco without any support.
Okay. So
up until like lost
this
4 or
point,
5.
like the argument kind of like progresses into this it's not quite an efficiency argument anymore. I think
Is there a need?
I think it's just bad for new players to just try to solo part 1 because they don't know, like they don't learn how to play the game from that. Like if the solution to every quest is just borrow a coup altar or something, the fuck are they gonna do when they run into a challenge quest or something?
Okay,
they don't even they don't develop an
yes,
understanding of the game.
you don't learn the game correctly, right? But like I've had this rant every time when I was in voice chat. You just weren't here.
Oh,
I have slowly realized that this game's difficulty is so low to the point that my channel doesn't really have a purpose to exist, right? So
I wouldn't say that.
That's a huge leap in logic, but like the game is just, if you want to beat it, you can just use Castoria, and like it's not that hard to learn how to use Castoria. Like maybe it takes a little bit of try and error. It really never, like when I review servants now, like honestly, I would rather review how fun they are or teach people how they can be used interestingly rather than how good they are practically, because I feel like, you know, the practicality argument just doesn't exist for Fate Grand Order. Because imagine you're doing a challenge, let's say a challenge quest. Do you do a challenge quest every 3 days? No. So you can always use command spells to get away with it, right? So like the game is just so low in terms of difficulty, and the challenge quest frequency is so low that when we talk about practicality of every servant, we just talk about farming, right? Like it's always going to be about farming. And I had this thought because there was this guy that just wouldn't leave me alone, that he's always in my comments saying like, why are you docking points from this servant because he's not good at CQs? Nobody does CQs anyways. Or why are you giving this servant so much prop for being good at CQs or solos? because this servant, because like who does CQs, right? Like you don't really do CQs in this game. And like I went from just scoffing at it to like getting mad at him to like, you know what? Is he really wrong about this? Is he wrong?
So
I mean,
I think this is a
perspective,
pretty,
yes.
I think this is a pretty interesting discussion to have, because like I think you're focusing too much on one side of it. Because on one hand, okay, challenge quests don't come up that often, but on the other hand, how hard is farming that you have to care that much about it?
Efficient farm. I don't know. Like I brought up that. I brought up the argument. It's like, why the fuck are you farming if you're using these server but no. As I've slowly realized, FGO players are into this perpetual hell of, I'm going to farm with this AoE art servant so I can level up my next AoE art servant. So when this AoE art servant becomes spawn 15, I can switch to the next one. Like this is what FGO players really like. They love being trapped in this infinite hell of farming, and then until the game ends service.
Ew.
So
I'm not.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
But no,
Anyways.
I mean, I think
It's just like these days, like, so NA isn't in this phase yet, but soon NA is going to be in a phase where you level like 3 servants and you can farm basically everything. You don't even have to roll for a lot of stuff. If you have your own Waver, your own Paracelsus, and your own Jufu, you can just borrow a Hyper Ibuki, and then bam, you're good on everything.
I mean, except not 90++, but
Well, yeah, but if you're a new player, you're not going to do 90++. That is not an option. And even if it is an option, that's probably how you're going to do it anyways, so it's like the best, like, when you do 90++, like the barrier to entry with that is generally not the supports, it's having a DPS that's high enough investment, like NP levels and Grailed high and stuff.
Yep. Because obviously, as I'm starting a new series, Banner Breakdown, I just feel like, the counter argument to that is, why are you making content based on practicality? Like, of course it's gonna get good views because people like to click it, but like, does it really achieve anything?
Because
at the end of
people
the day?
want to know what servants perform the best at what they want to do. Because I know, like, you ran into that one annoying guy who was like saying it was all pointless, but like, most people don't want to sit there and start a fight and then wait for in the middle of the fight, wait for their command spells to regen.
That's fair.
And stuff like that. Or when they're doing like a challenge quest, they may use they're using their command spells for when they mess up on farming.
But like,
and also the really like weird story fights, the command spells aren't going to help them. Like, if
you're right.
Like,
you could just straight up lose. Yeah,
like you can straight up lose. I mean, like, that's why they gave blue cubes in Lost Belt 6. Sir Nunos was gonna. It didn't matter if you were using command spells. You might need 7 of those.
Yeah.
To survive Sir Nunos' onslaught, like, because like it shows that FGO can make hard fights. They can make fights that are difficult. But
I just don't think they do it enough.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, I don't know why I have to go to this place, but like,
I don't think you need to defend yourself on that. I think people are gonna say what they want, but you can't take every single person's complaint, because what if someone starts complaining the opposite way?
To be fair, he doesn't. Like, you can actually deny his right to say what he wants, because you can just delete comments and block them from the channel.
Here's the thing. Here's the thing. I'm not having a fight with him. Like I told you, in my initial reaction to the comment is just scoff at it, right? My initial reaction to the comment is just scoff at it, because like, oh, you're really fucking farming brain rot guy. But like, it's like sometimes when I'm alone, I just think about stuff, and I'm just like, is he really wrong though? So like, is he really wrong? Like, the structure of this game is formed very weirdly, and like, honestly, not in a way that I like, where, instead of locking stuff behind challenge quests, or like, incentivizing people doing hard fights, what they do is just they put this hard fight as this optional thing, which is really good because people don't have to stress about beating stuff. That's a good thing. They want people to take. I guess this is the visual novel element, whereas like, people should be able to read the story and not be bricked by the game, right? So that's why they do it. But like, at the same time, this does eliminate a lot of reason to like to talk too much about this is what I mean by I want to talk about like how to use this servant, rather than like, if this is the servant good, right? Because like, you should choose to use a servant that you think is fun to use, rather than just a servant that is really good at something, because you know, you don't really need to always pick a servant that is good at doing something. You can always pick, like, unless you're doing min turns.
You can brute force it.
So
Yeah, you can usually
sometimes.
brute force it with like.
so Plushie,
servants.
I'm not sure. I'm
What
not
I'm
sure
saying
how in you are with like stream culture. Have you ever heard of the act of getting one guide?
No, that one guy, like Tog.
Yeah.
Oh,
sort of.
if I like to guess, it's like you got so affected by just one guy out of like a bunch of people.
Sort of like that. It's like you'll see, like you'll ask some sort of question, or you'll be talking about something, and all of chat seems to go in one particular direction, but then there's this one guy that says something the opposite, and you just get so distracted by it that you start to assume, like, wait, this isn't the only person, right? And, like, more of you guys also think that, right?
Yeah.
But the thing is, it was just one guy. So I think
I
you
guess,
have a
yeah.
tendency of having that happen to you, where you'll see like one really niche viewpoint where most people just actively disagree with that person, and you might like assume that there's too many people taking that stance. And like I don't say
I mean,
this to
I
don't-
guess it's
don't
because I
mean
like
to-
playing devil's advocate, so because
Yeah,
like
so
I think I
I-
chew on this kind of stuff, right?
Yeah,
I'm like, oh,
I
you know
don't-
what, yeah.
I don't mean to say this to try and devalue it, like saying, because like facts aren't democratic. Like a
Mhm.
person can be right about something and no one else agrees with them. That's not my intent when I say that. But generally, when most people think one way and there's one person that thinks another way, it's because they value specific other things that those people don't care about. And generally, yeah, you
suppose.
get what I mean.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm just thinking, like, is he really wrong though? Because like that does come back that does come back to the video that you want to make
Yeah.
about is
Why-
FGO really 90% farming, right? Like
Okay.
is it
That's
right? Like
that's
don't
actually
spoil it, by the way.
well.
So if
I'll
you
spoil
already
what
see
I
it.
want.
It might not
Thank
be
you very
wrong
much.
for how he
It's-
plays.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But like that video idea has more so transformed to why care about challenge quests than that,
Mhm.
because like
I mean, yeah,
that's,
then that is the
that's-
crisis I'm currently
yeah,
having,
that's-
because like
because that's like the core of that's the full question
Also-
there, whereas
also
the,
here's the thing, I technically didn't get one guide because I was recently interested to I just thought like I'd take a look, because I have not seen like Taiwanese FGO content for a while,
okay, but the
right? So I just realized like, oh, a lot of them are only talking about farming when they do servant recommendation. I'm like, that's very interesting, right? Like and then nobody really complains or asks about like, oh, how about CQs, because they never really get into that, like, right? Like they very very briefly
I
breeze past it, right? So I'm like, maybe it's different cultures, maybe it's I don't know,
I think
maybe
there's
I think too much.
a very easy to recognize and good reason for it is because the things that make good challenge quest servants
Usually make good farming servants.
usually make them good
Okay
farming,
farming.
and with the
Yeah.
introduction of 90++ and single targets entering the farming realm, now it really, if they're good single target and farming, the really, because the things that make a servant good challenge quest are just things like buff removal resistance, invul and pierce, right?
Yeah, those are
kind
the
of
only
three
thing that
thi-
are
those are the kind of
not
three
farming
major
related.
things
Yeah,
that aren't
yeah,
farming
yeah.
related.
yeah
Everything
yeah.
else is everything else has a dual purpose, and so
Yeah.
it's really only needs to be brought up if you're saying like, oh, and for challenge quests they have invul and pierce, or they have buff removal, or they have
Mm.
buff removal resistance, but like
Mhm.
because of 90++ and single targets finally, after the game was around for 7 years, entering the farming realm for the first time in any practical fashion, they can now be part of that discussion.
Mhm.
And so I think that's why, because I believe if there wasn't 90++, they would still be having the discussion about them as boss killers, because because when you think about it, that is what you're using them for in a 90++ as a boss killer. You
Yeah,
gotta have them
yeah,
with limited
yeah.
supports. You got to pump out 1 million damage from them with limited supports.
Yeah,
Right?
you're correct.
And so,
yeah,
like-
farming essentially is just like a really easy min turn that is repeated.
Yeah.
That makes sense actually.
People care about the highest hurdle, and right now the hardest thing in the game is 90++.
The hardest common thing they interact with is 90++.
Yeah.
Yeah,
The hardest thing that actually has consistent relevance.
Yeah, it's more like that. That's what I meant by like it's more whale gated, I guess, because like like realistically, the only content that hyper incentivizes high MP DPSs are farming over challenge quests, because you can kind of always get away with MP1 with challenge quests. Yeah,
farming actually wants higher MP levels way more than challenge quest stuff.
Yeah. That's what I mean by like I made a tweet about it. I didn't start beef. Don't worry. I made a tweet.
Don't worry, it won't. If you start beef, it's not intentional usually.
Yeah. So I tweeted like, FGO is honestly more pay to win the more farming centric it is. Because a lot of things I heard people saying is like, oh, if you lock everything behind really difficult challenge quests, then the game will be pay to win, because if you don't have a strong roster, you can't beat them. But I was like, not necessarily. But anyways, wow, there's a lot of yapping. Holy shit.
Yeah.
I mean, we're done talking about that campaign. What? So we'll be a week out from that. I guess next week we can talk about like Jufu and such. We talked about
maybe
Barclay.
something will happen in JP.
Yeah. Hopefully.
Something cool will happen in JP.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
Don't worry, we'll get like one more buff, and then we can like talk about that for 5 minutes, and then I don't know, we'll figure out the rest of it. Or I don't know, maybe we'll
2 hours of crying live on stream.
As long as the crime doesn't get me limited or worse.
I didn't say crime, I said crying.
Crying. Oh.
Yeah.
Isn't crying a crime?
No. Now we could also commit crimes on stream. It's 2 hours of playing jackpot.
Oh man, that would be a spicy. That would be even worse than last week. Last week is basically playing Jackbox without the prompts. That's crazy. I don't know how I did that.
Oh, man.
How we did that.
I'd love to.
Have you ever
I'd
played
love to
Jackbox?
play some. Oh yeah, I played a ton of Jackbox. With people that are not afraid to go into unsavory areas.
Oh.
Yeah,
basically.
like Rio. You should play Jackbox with Rio. He gets racist.
Oh, no.
I don't get racist.
no.
I get look. A couple
nothing.
things come up in, and it may revolve sometimes around 9/11.
Oh, I mean, I think 9/11's fine. Wait, no,
It's fine.
don't.
Hold on. Wait. Whoa. Wait. Wait.
Oh, you get fucking deported, Jesus.
No.
Plus, I think
No, my
9/11's fine.
monetization.
Emerald,
Really? People get no way. They demonetize you for saying 9/11.
No, they won't. They won't.
9/11's
I don't know.
9/11 jokes
Maybe
all the
they'll
time,
say.
and no,
Maybe they'll
my VODs
demonetize
don't
it
get-
for saying it's right. It's all right.
They aren't
I didn't
making
say it's
that much.
right. I said 9/11 jokes should be all right, maybe.
All right. You're just like rephrasing history. You're rewriting history here. Rephrasing history.
Dude, that should be the slogan or the advertisement for Fate. Rephrasing history. Fate Grand Order.
But yeah, I think 3 hours will be fine. I got
Yeah.
work pretty early in the morning. I got to be up at 5. By up at 5, I mean I got to be up at 4 to get there at 5. That means I get off earlier, and I'm also gonna be off for like 2 days, so I might
Oh, that's
stream
nice.
in that time.
Nice.
Yeah, I'm off 2 days for the weekend, then I work 1 day, then I'm off 2 days for the week middle. Anyways,
Weekend, the week middle, yeah.
thank you
week
all so
beginning.
much for watching, and
Yeah.
stay tuned for next time when we talk about other stuff that hopefully also doesn't get limited monetization.
No, now you're just paranoid just because plus you said one thing once.
Well,
Don't worry, you'll be fine.
we'll see. We'll see. Yeah, we're probably fine on this episode, but
Oh no, we're
Yeah.
definitely fine. I guarantee it.
see, like, you get burnt by something once, you're always gonna be wary of it. Okay.
There's a saying about that in Chinese.
Oh,
Yeah?
do tell.
Yeah, it's I don't know how to translate. It's basically like I feel like there should be a equivalent in English, right? It's like you get bitten by a snake once, you're scared of a rope for 20 years.
You know,
No?
that makes sense.
Yeah.
I feel like that's a little irrational, but
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
ropes
it
look
gets the
like
point.
snakes. Snakes look like ropes. Who came first? The
Yeah.
snake or the rope? Anyways,
The snake. Obviously the snake.
you're right.
What kind
All
of
right,
question is
bye.
that? All right,
Bye.
bye.